Welcome to the Trailhead, where trails start and stories unfold.
One, two, three.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Now here's JD.
Welcome to the Trailhead, where trails start and stories unfold. I'm JD, and joining us today are Pope and Randi, Julie from Aqua Jeep Girl and her husband Matt, Jason Carnes, and Lily. Hi, everybody.
Hey there. How you doing?
We've got a little bit of news. We're going to meet with Julie. Julie's the Instagram famous Aqua Jeep Girl. And
Oh my gosh.
oh, I
Don't give her a big
I gotta pump up the guest, Matt. I'm sorry. I apologize. We got a couple of news stories, including a couple of ads that were pulled in the UK about a Toyota truck. And let's see here. What else we got here? The last pieces, we're going to sit around. We'll get to know Julie and her husband, and going to go around a bit of a Thanksgiving Christmas segment. We'll just kind of go around the webcam, and in Jason's case, the actual literal fire. And we can talk a little bit about that crap. So welcome, everybody. Let's get started. And I want to, first things first, everybody, reminder, I always forget, pump your social medias as we're talking. I'm me and my yellow JK, Julie, Aqua Jeep Girl. Matt, are you on Instagram? Do you give a shit?
Do I even care? I'm just.
He is. He's in Dalmaskin.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Pope and Randi.
Monkey.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's that, Jason?
What'd you say, Jason?
I said congrats on Middle Monkey with that big ass black.
Thank you.
We were just talking about that too, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
In gym.
That sounds about right.
See,
Oh. Ah, well done.
Actually got back on the horse this week. It was a first day. I was like terrified, and I actually got back and did Middle Monkey last night. That made me feel really good. And today I did 777s. We did Sammy, and I feel like I can wheel again. So I'm still a little bit nervous and gym, but that was a lot.
It can't be easy overcoming that. So
sure, whatever.
yeah.
It's the reality that it can happen. Now it's like, okay, and I think it was a good thing. I think it was really good for us because we were.
Never happened to us.
I think we're just the rest of us are not lost.
Yeah. Well, I think you had a rollover nearly the same time Bill Adair, his rollover, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Andy Orlando rolled it too. Yeah.
So are you trying to say that you're a trendsetter? Is that what I'm hearing?
It's
It's amazing.
Something going on. It's like the
All right. We've got Pope and Randi with Jeb and the Misfit. And then we've got Lily, and it's Lily Off-Road, right?
Yes, Lily Off-Road Girl.
That's it. And then Jason JKU. And Only
Jason.
Carnes Garage is the master.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Only Carnes Garage is one of my new favorite things to play.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you're listening to this, imagine taking all of, as Pope refers to them, Jason's spicy moments. It's a lot of that is distilled down in his Instagram account there, so it's pretty good.
The filtered version.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it filtered. Mm-mm.
Oh my God, both.
Life's too short for filters.
You've been in the military for how long?
What
I
do you
think that is the filtered version. Believe me.
That is true.
Also, he's growing a beard now because he's retirement.
It'll take 2 years to get Pope status.
Yeah,
Can you see it?
trying to keep up with Pope too. He said no shave November, which is overweight.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Look at that.
There's a little gray there.
I can't
Just
tell
let
if
it
that's
go.
ash or if that's beach fuzz.
It's a little bit of both.
Fair enough. All right. Let's see. Like we talked, the last episode that's gonna air before this is gonna be the Sand Hollow Part 2 episode. This will get up before Christmas, and then we'll get on to a regular schedule. And this will officially be episode 11, hopefully, if I've done my math correctly, which is entirely possible, but I have not. So yeah, we're well on our way to 20. We've got a couple of good ones. Jason, we talked about Eric from Concord Trails coming on.
Yeah.
Catherine Joy, I just talked to her from Colorado 4x4 Girls. She's going to come on and talk about them. And then I've got a couple of other folks that reach out to us to be guests, which are it's kind of cool. So if you want to be a guest on the show, please reach out to us via the website, thetrailheadnetwork.com. Click on the guest application tab, and then it's just a couple of fields I ask you to fill out, and it'll shoot us a note. Make sure you don't get caught up in any spam filters. So yeah, along those lines. What?
Has anyone called our phone number?
I'm getting there. Hold on. No one's called the phone number yet. No.
What is
Hold
the
on,
number?
I
I
have
can
a
call
question.
it right now.
You can.
What are the requirements to join the podcast? Do you have any requirements?
Not necessarily. If you got an interesting story to tell, I mean, I don't mind talking to somebody. Yeah.
I mean, you'll take anybody at this point. I mean,
Well, I mean, they're obviously, but no, for purposes of the show, like one of the folks that reached out to us has an advocacy group that he started out in Florida. It's got a really cool story, and it'd be kind of interesting to have them on. Some of the folks are folks that we know, and I happen to know them locally here, and so it's great to that's friendly for us, right? It's an opportunity for us to talk with those folks. But no, I don't have any necessary, I kind of want to make this an open forum for folks. So if it's just the 3 or 4 of us sitting around talking, great. If we happen to bring in somebody else that likes doing this stuff too, then great. And I don't care if they're just talking about their regular 500 followers on their Instagram account. Doesn't matter to me as long as they've got something interesting to say about it. Plus, it makes it easier for us to book out guests. So there is that part too. So yeah, now I got to be fair, a lot of these folks don't know that are listening because by the time we record the last couple of episodes to the time that they air, the phone number really hasn't made it to the air yet. So, but by the time that it does, I'm hoping it's going to be a hot commodity.
It's supposed to give people the opportunity to leave their take on something.
oh, that's cool.
People love the show.
Yep. Well, and questions too. Like if there's stuff I don't know about everything. I read a lot of news because I'm a junkie when it comes to a lot of that, but I don't catch it all. So there's news, and I'm sure everybody's got opinions on Pope. We just haven't heard about it yet. And then, but once they get wind of this phone number, it's all over. So if you want to leave us a message, the phone number is 719-408-0132. I've had a whole week to think about it, and I've done nothing of the sort to figure out what I'm going to give to the person that leaves us their first voicemail. But there will be something for them.
No.
I think that should be something on our Patreon. Like that's just something because that can be completely uncensored and unfiltered. Like you paid for him to swear at you. So
Isn't that the military though? That is the military.
yeah, but civilians aren't used to it.
They're swearing at him. Okay.
So yeah, if you leave us a phone number or leave us a message at 719-408-0132, you can reach us at thetrailheadnetwork.com, the Trailhead Podcast at Gmail, and of course the Trailhead Podcast on Instagram. And yeah, Julie, while the guys are there. I'm going to ask them to record spots with you if you don't mind, saying, "Hey, this is Julie. Welcome to the Trailhead." I'd love to do it right now, but I think there's too much noise, and so we do that. If it's no pressure, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But it'd be awesome if you could. I want to kind of throw those in randomly in the future. So yeah, yeah. All right, so let's officially welcome you. So now, because Julie wrote her bio out, or not wrote her bio out, she just sent me the information so that I could actually do it. I was able to write something. So let's give a warm welcome to Julie Heyer. Is it Heyer or Heyer?
Nice.
Heyer.
Well done.
Right. The adventurous soul from Southern Utah. She's known as Aqua Jeep Girl on Instagram, Aqua Jeep Girl on Facebook and YouTube, and Roxy Jeep on TikTok. Julie is breaking stereotypes, proving moms that can do rock off-roading too. From driving her college roommate's Jeep in Southern California to navigating with car seats in the back, Julie's off-road journey is nothing short of inspiring. We're glad to have Julie's off-roading experience, her favorite moments, and the unique perspective she brings. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you.
And Matt, yeah, I'm sorry, Matt.
I am Aqua Jeep lad. Aqua Jeep dude. Aquaman. What are we gonna do?
Aquaman.
You know what? If that's not an Instagram account, you need to have it as an Instagram account.
Totally. I am Mr. Aqua Jeep Girl.
Nice. I feel like that's a distinguished title.
Thank you. I just show up and I'm on the trail. That's about it. Yeah.
I will not be doing Jason off-road boy. Not.
I think it'd be hella interesting, Jason.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on. And yeah, like I said, if you want to be on the show like Julie and Matt, then feel free to reach out to us. The worst we're going to say is no, right? We're probably not going to say no.
And you probably should say no.
We probably should, and we might get to the point at someday where we might actually have to have standards. I don't think we're there yet. Okay. I don't think any of us have reached a place where we're on a high ground of any kind. So, yeah. All right. Good stuff. Well, Pope, do you want to do news?
That's right. It made sense to me.
You got 3 stories. You want to do all 3 or should we do those? I really want to do the Toyota.
Let's start with the Toyota one first. So if we run out of time, then you're good to go. Am I the only person that lost video for Pope though?
I lost video for Pope.
I lost me.
I'm sorry.
I can see him in my head.
I have to switch to different.
You'll just have to look at us.
I'm pretending that.
Well, then here, you know what?
Okay.
While you're doing that, then while you're pulling it up here, I will let me do this other stupid thing that I wanted to try.
I can turn the camera and get off.
Oh no, I did not set that up. So never mind. I'm not doing that.
Normally, the other see me, but today we're going to
Do it again.
I'm very disappointed in myself, Pope. I actually had new audio for you to go with the breaking news segment or the news segment, and it's not ready today.
Awesome.
Next time.
the first article is about so Toyota truck ads were banned for showing 4 tread light. So 2 Toyota trucks were banned for damaging. The ads showed a group of Lily lost driving through the rivers, forests, and open land with the slogan "Born to Win." However, the UK's Advertising Standards Authority ruled that the ads presented condoned the use of vehicles and disregarded their impact on nature and the environment, and breached the social responsibility of the UK. Wow. Toyota
Now,
argued the ads were
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you want to
No. Keep going, man. Yep.
So Toyota argued that the ads were fantastical and filmed in landscapes that don't look like the UK countryside, and would not encourage a British consumer to copy the activities they did. However, the ASA said the ads showed cars driving realistically in a way that encouraged irresponsible behavior. Toyota failed to uphold a broader standard of UK's advertising. The adverts be prepared with a sense of responsibility to consumers and society. This is a reminder that advertising can influence consumer behavior, perception, and companies need to be mindful in their social media. So,
Yeah, I think that's filled in there. Yeah.
Wow.
So I actually I got the video. Let me see if I can do the share here real quick.
oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, let's see here.
You should definitely do that. That's hilarious.
So that's pretty innocuous. Okay, that's a little bit. That's the bad shot. Although driving through water like that isn't really that much of an issue. That is not great. Off highway onto the road.
They're using the highway.
Right? Yeah, and that's it. There's no more off-road usage in this video.
They got upset about that.
Yeah.
Born to roam.
Yeah. So, and I'm of two minds on this, right? Like, part of me thinks, okay, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Keep in mind, guys, this is the UK. They've got a different set of advertising standards, so they can do that. Yeah. Well, they can control advertisements like that. They actually have things like those clauses that specifically call out social responsibility. Mm-hmm. We don't have that yet. I'm sure we will, but and like there are moments in that video where I'm kind of like, is that sketchy? It's not any sketchier than I've seen on any video in the United States.
Absolutely.
Western society is lost. I'm just saying. I mean, if you can't even put that on TV, that's ridiculous.
I feel like you didn't have to say Western society. I think you could have just.
That's why we voted against it.
I don't know.
I mean, there is that. So, yeah, that was
actually. So when I first read the headline, the whole article, right? And then you're doing a donut driving through being subtle.
Yeah.
It's like
well, and it's also not just a puddle; it's a wash area. It's very obvious part of the river that changes on a regular basis, and like that's something that we have here. You know, we've had that conversation with some people in the Utah area because they get all upset that people are driving through washes. Why are you upset? It's going to change the next time there's a major storm.
Julie has a funny story actually about that.
Oh yeah,
it's hilarious. It is hilarious. Actually.
Did you get lost in a wash too?
No, I put up a reel about me driving through water on Imogene Pass. If you're familiar with Imogene Pass.
Oh yeah.
And it was really flowing. It was a spring pass, so it was really flowing.
The
video did really well. But I was getting all this hatred from fishermen who could not believe that I had the audacity to go through this beautiful, fragile trout. First of all, there's never a trout in that stream. And there's nothing in that stream. It's a seasonal thing. It's not even that strong most of the year. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so what they ended up doing is sharing it amongst all their friends and sharing it on their pages and putting it in their stories and commenting and saving it and sending it to their friends. Reel ended up with like 3 million views on it thanks to these trout fishermen coming at me. I'm not sure what your goal was, but holy shit, what you got to say.
Straight ahead, baby.
Yeah.
We could literally look up and see the snow melt. The snow is right there, and the snow is melting, and there it is.
That's
right?
the trail. You drive through the water.
There's no fish.
The trail. So anyway, so I started. I think that's been really kind of funny because they shared it so many times. That it's like the only viral reel I think I've ever.
No, I think it's a perfect dovetail with a lot of the stuff that we've talked about recently, where is people are going to go out there. So whether or not it's sharing it via a post that just magically shows up and has 3 million views that had no intention of that, if you just stop trying to make a big spectacle of it.
I mean, the trail literally crosses. That is the trail.
Oh, I know.
There is no, you're not making your own way. That is the trail. So what do you do?
Yeah, I tried to reason with the first couple about letting principle. I'm staying in the trail. This is the trail.
Yeah, you don't do that unless you have a lot of time to waste.
I didn't finally tell the last one. Okay, man, thank you so much for sharing.
I mean, there's that. That's a lot of view time.
It was just super.
I think it happens a lot more than those folks want to admit.
They're passionate about whatever it is they don't know.
Exactly.
I think that's a distinctly American trait in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Although I think with that story, that proves that's not just an American thing, is it? Do the one on the Coconino? Coconino.
Oh, in Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
And I'll tell you why I wanted to do this one, because I'll tell you.
Okay. So this is OHV, that's us. OHV, and renters report only 78.7 acres affected near Forest Road 525, Coconino National Forest. So, what is this national forest?
So Coconino is all around Flagstaff, all the way on down to like Payson.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a huge swath of land. Yeah. So
for all the recreation really is.
yeah, when people talk about going north from Phoenix, that's where they go.
There's water up there.
Right.
So here's the story. So in a non-scientific testing, windmill shared data asserting that off-highway vehicle records in the Pope National Forest west of Sedona has allegedly led to an estimated 78.7 acres of trail site, representing 0.004% of the entire forest area. Their observations lack the scientific validation for the study. That's one of the biggest problems of these groups.
Mm-hmm.
The process identified 347 locations near Forest Road 525 where they suggest the Forest Service should address potential damage caused by bees. Their concerns include the destruction of topsoil, maybe permanently. Although the article provides no actual evidence or clarification of what is meant by destroyed or permanent. This bias raises the questions about the objectivity of the report and underscores the importance of critical analysis. While the article and report lack scientific vigor, these kinds of articles contribute to the ongoing dialogue of good and moral.
Yeah.
So that's one of the pretty typical of what we have been brought these trails and bonds, and they are saying that these trails are completely destroyed and completely trashed, and it's just not factual, you know. And so you go on these trails and you can see they're not damaged. Other than there's tire tracks, because it was an old mining trail, right? Or it was a Eastern Butte Safari track for the last 30 years, right? Yeah. So that kind of stuff on there is one of the biggest problems, because they don't use facts. They just use a lot of this is what's actually in.
Yeah, they make an assertion and then they basically ride that assertion the entire way without providing evidence.
Exactly. And the best part about this assertion, and I emailed the author of the article actually because I wanted to find out what his take was. And one of the things that he noted was that, and I thanked him for kind of taking a middle of the road approach on it. And he said part of the reason he did that was to just kind of show that acres was 0.004 was such a tiny amount. Like, you're actually, that's what you're stating is the problem. on this whole forest is just a couple of wide roads, or what you consider to be wide roads. In I was reading through part of the article, and one of their definitions of disturbance was an area where there was 2-track and there was no grass growing in the middle of the road.
Okay, so I have been there. We lived there. That exact area. We have trailed that area a lot. And grass does not even, it's not even possible. This is a ponderosa pine forest. Underneath that canopy, there's
Right.
no growth. And plus, it's acidic or a base, I forget which.
Yep.
Nothing can grow under there. It's just,
It's desert.
It's not. Yeah.
But Sedona is a very hostile environment for off-roading, and they have a lot of pushback. They have a lot of environmentalists, and they're very big on widening the trail and everybody staying in the trail. There's a lot of people who go.
Yeah.
We have some friends in that area. We've been involved with it a little bit. There are a lot of times going on the trail, and there's a puddle, so they go around the puddle rather than going through the mud. Right now, it's widening the trail. So then everybody sees that other people have done it. So then everybody starts doing it, and then now it's got 5 things and things like that people have come up with rather than just doing the obstacles or doing the trail.
We have that problem here in Carlo too.
Yeah, they're huge on that in Sedona. And part of me totally gets it. I understand state of the trail. I understand, if you're on a trail, you're there to do it, not create a new one. So I understand that side of it as well. I think there has to be some.
So the area that they're talking about, just for context for people, is basically if you go south of Flagstaff or even kind of do east of Flagstaff. What's that? No. It's down towards, it's that ridge on the top overlooking all of that, right?
Is that the one that we
camp
at and stuff?
Yeah. That whole area up near Schnebley Hill Road and all that area, all of that is kind of what they're talking about. And it's beautiful. I mean, it is remarkable. I haven't seen an awful lot of people ever leaving that road, right? Or some of the roads nearby. It is widening. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we get into the side-by-side thing here, and sometimes sure, totally. We do want to protect access,
but I think we have.
We also want to protect them.
Yeah, and we have to have internal conversations about the fact that there are some people. There's a couple of trails here. When Marcus and them are here talking about Wildcat Canyon, one of my biggest complaints out there are ATVs. There is a problem with folks who don't know what they're doing with them.
Yeah, we were out at shoot today, right? And I was looking down at this group of side-by-sides that were coming up the shoot, and this guy climbs up, and this boy, 14-year-old boy, is in the side-by-side, driving the side-by-side. And he's going up the chute, and he clearly has no idea what he's doing. So the dad was encouraging the guy to go up and roll it.
He's like, totally.
It actually was. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. And he was like, hit it. Like, he wanted him to roll the side-by-side. I've never seen a Jeeper ever encourage somebody else to roll them. I'm not saying that all side-by-side, please. I'm not saying all
I think we all recognize
people
that, yeah.
But there's this element of, hey, break it, it's okay. I can just roll it right back over. It's a big deal.
There it is. Yep.
Vehicles are expensive.
We got a lot
invested in these things. It's more than
It's a $10,000 axle on a vehicle that, for a lot of us, has to get us to and from work.
Yeah,
exactly. Get to so we are very careful to make it right. Plus, recovery is a hard thing to do. It's not really easy. They're heavy, they're big.
So let me ask you a question, actually.
Stressful for everybody.
About this. So I've heard that there was a time at which Pritchett in Moab was able to be driven by 35-inch wheels. Right? That's true. Mm-hmm. But now it's like you have to have a 40 or a 42 to effectively drive it, right? Is it washing? Okay. Because, I hear that used as like a way to say, well, look, you guys are tracking the environment, right?
No.
And if it's erosion, it's just erosion.
I mean, even if
Yeah, no, totally. I'm with you, 100%.
and even if it's not like it, if if they're limited maintenance roads, then what happens to limited maintenance roads? They get used. They're going to need more maintenance than you can provide, so it's going to take bigger and bigger tires, and that's why 40s are the new 35s. Jason, go ahead.
Oh, it was me. So there's
go
some
ahead.
parts of Appreciate that I don't think they were caused by erosion or like nature or time. That like I have to be pulled over, like I have to be winched out, and I have a long face, and I have 42 tires. So like thinking about like there was a time where
You had issues with your lockers, though.
well, we were not the only ones. Our friend, Dave also had issue in the same obstacle, right? So it's like
Pritchett all the time.
That wasn't Pritchett, though.
that was Pritchett.
Dave wasn't with us.
No, with us that time, but a different time. So
Was I awake?
yes, you were on this time.
Did he have?
But my point is, I heard the stories that before there was a time where Pritchett was able to be run on 33s.
We've all heard that, right? Yeah.
But there's some obstacles in there that I don't know how 33s go over them, and there's not possible. Oh, somebody put a bigger rock in there, like.
I think that people can still go through there on 33s, but they're not doing the same obstacles. I think that more obstacles have formed over time. Different lines have formed over time, but I think people on 33s, 35s can still do it. Now, like I said, they're not going to do the same obstacles or the same line.
I think it's more of a perception issue.
The same how
They also.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on 35s. Actually on 35s. I mean, it still can be done.
But right now, like some of those obstacles are really like difficult. There's no bypass for them. You have to go.
And actually, the last one is where there's just giant undercut, right? So I had 42-inch tires. I couldn't get up that stupid
That's
thing.
the one that couldn't go up either.
That was and the winch point at the very end was broken clear off. Jeez. It was gone, like totally gone. So yeah.
I mean, you dropped mine and yours up there, but we winch out. Oh. You lockers were working.
Yeah, I saw like some dude in the JT.
That's just stupid.
But I do believe that some of these obstacles they had bypass. I believe they're closed now. They closed them out, so you have no option now but go through the hard obstacles. That's what I think it happened.
Yeah, I thought that last obstacle when we were looking for a bypass, we didn't see a bypass for that last obstacle because we were squatch.
There's no.
I had to go up, and we put a winch line around a big boulder to get him up, and the boulder started moving. So me and Mark were like jumping on the boulder to keep the boulder. It was stupid. Okay, don't ever do this. Anyway, the point is that he got up, and then he was the winch point for us to get up. But
you guys are referring to the obstacle. You go straight up, and then you have to go straight to the right, and it's really steep.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
I think so.
Yeah.
At the very end, when you're looking up the hill and you can see kind of like the valley up at the very top, that's what I'm talking about at the very, very end.
Oh, no, I didn't have any issues on that. Neither did you.
Yeah, because when we were there, it was probably like, I don't think a 44 could have even gotten up there. It was really undercut. It was crazy. So
I know the one sucks when you have to go backwards down.
Backwards.
Yeah. So, but my point is that we've all heard that same story, right? Everybody's heard that. well, we used to be able to ride. So somebody's telling the story. This narrative is being like pushed out.
Yeah.
Right?
People with 35s, that's who are pushing out that narrative.
People with 35s.
Yeah.
Rocker knocker, you ain't gonna make that up over with 33s if you do the rocker knocker straight up the middle. But you can do the I can't remember what they call that. It's like the crawl across it.
Yeah, where you step it.
Yeah,
like
you
up.
can do it
Yeah,
that way. I don't recommend going straight up it anyway because you end up dying almost.
Yeah.
Or whoever's videoing you might die.
It's true.
And then none of your shit will work ever again after that. Yep. I know because I did it. I should have never listened to that spotter. And I hope it's a podcast. Because if you're listening to this podcast and you are my spotter, I hate you. I don't even know your damn name, but I don't like you.
That's hilarious.
Dear unnamed spotter, from the Trailhead podcast to yours, Merry Christmas.
I do not listen to people that I don't know anymore after that day. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
We've had some bad spotting.
Yeah. Totally.
This week we've been with people across the whole time. And some of us, some people think that other people a lot more than others.
Mm-hmm.
And, this guy spotted me today. Stared at you. It's not anything offensive. It's not personal.
Yeah.
I go with him every weekend.
So I actually have a guy I can ask about this because I just looked it up, and it looks like Josh Nessers, who is with Trails Off Road, he is the guy who rode up the trail there, and I'm pretty sure that's because he's done it repeatedly. So I'll ask him. I'm guessing though, does it go through a wash?
There's a
Yeah.
You get to the Pritchett you're talking about?
No, I mean through Pritchett.
Pritchett is a canyon, right? So naturally you go through that.
You're going to get changes from any kind of a wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I seem to remember something about this one a year or two back. We got a report from a user saying that there'd been a huge storm and they tried to get halfway up it and got stopped. All right.
Well,
I'll
I know
ask
that
him
the
about
entry, the gateway into that, when you first kind of go down into it, if you keep going just a little bit there, that's the water right there. Right.
Okay.
So, yeah. Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Mother
all right,
Nature
cool.
does a lot. The tearing up, the digging, and spinning your tires.
Right.
Tire spinning is the one thing that is like, that's destroying this off-road trail. It's damaging it, but it's also an off-road trail.
Yeah. And literally nobody would ever have been back there prior to a vehicle with four-wheel drive capabilities. Nobody else would have probably seen it unless maybe there's a couple of hikers. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just spinning is not necessarily.
There are a lot of people who love to spin.
There are a lot of people that love to do it. Yeah. I like crawl stuff. I mean, Julie, you do too.
I have no ability to send it.
Yeah, we don't really have motors like.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm of the opinion that as long as you're on the trail, then it shouldn't matter if you're spinning your tires to the point where you're intentionally damming the trail. Then yeah, you should probably stop that. But if it's just in regular usage of the trail, you follow the the requirements and the expected tire sizes and all that things, then go ahead. So yeah, that's like just a personal opinion.
I don't know what Lily's going to ask. Go ahead.
No, I was supporting you.
Oh.
Well, thank you.
Do you have a blonde person in your house right now, Pope?
What the fuck?
Oh, we're the same.
Because I saw Julie get up.
Yeah, Julie, we're in the same. We're at Julie's house.
That's the table.
Oh!
I feel like Jason just had a legitimate moment of, wait, do you guys know somebody else in your house?
What happened?
Shit, that was amazing. I mean, you
could've
guys do
sworn
you. We're
it
not
was
here
like-
to judge lifestyles.
I was like, holy shit, Julie just walked across like the airport.
Magic.
I must have missed that earlier.
Shit, that was amazing.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell me about it, my roof of
Oh yeah, you
Sorry,
hit a hail today,
crazy.
didn't you?
oh my god.
That's
We were running in Portland. And the house broke down.
Thanks for that, by the way.
We got snow for 200
So that's wholly your fault. Okay.
miles.
0% chance in the world.
It pays Julie
My hard top on this morning, and I had a cooler, no wind. I'm guessing.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was beautiful.
Hey,
Yeah.
Julie, I have a question for you. There's a rumor that was spread around Instaland.
Terrified right now.
Said that you were worried about wheeling with me.
I don't think it's just Julie. I don't think it's just her.
Dude,
I love
I
you,
didn't
but
know
I'm
you from-
already worried
when I
about
first
wheeling
saw
with
you
you.
on the trail. That was awesome, dude. That little like countryway, and then the gatekeeper in Mills. That was fun to watch. I wasn't.
It wasn't sitting in there. I was a little bit butt puckered, but
Yeah, well, you were about like dust. I mean,
Crazy, but I kind of relate to that.
you get it.
but I made it. Damn it!
You could.
that was awesome. Actually, I was like, good grief. And
I'm just walking in this JT, that real steep one.
no, I couldn't. I didn't get that thing. So
Well, you know this area, so you know the spot after the shoot.
Did anybody?
the bonus line, I think it is that right after the shoot. I think.
Oh yeah, I've done that a few times. But the person that I talk to, I make it every time, but I cheat because Oscar told me 3 years ago. He was like, "Hey, do the bonus line after the shoot," and he told me exactly what to do, and it works every damn time. I don't know if
Oscar the
it's
Grouch?
not,
Oscar?
so I don't want to share it.
Yeah, Oscar.
No, I'm serious. So Oscar, that's the Grouch, JKU.
Yep.
He said the secret to it is when you come to the top of that, you have that one tall rock. It's kind of like a little V. You have to take your driver's side front tire in an uncomfortable position as high as you can get it. And every single time I've done it, I've walked it. Well, to get to that, once you get to that point, you can walk it. I know that your tires are spread out just right in a JKU where you'll be trying to climb in the front, trying to climb in the rear. You got to give that a little bump. But once you get to the top, driver front tire has to be as high as you can get it, and it'll walk right up over it every time.
Yeah, Julie did the. I thought she was going to die line thing. That was really cool.
Yeah, I was watching yours, Julie. I was like, you took your passenger tire that way. I was
Yep.
like,
I finally told her, look, just take the path. The night before, I did that.
Like it was,
Or 2 nights before.
the sun was like right there, so I looked. They had no visibility whatsoever. So just over my windshield.
better that way.
Yeah, well, I'm driving by Braille at that point, so I'm totally
Yeah.
counting on.
That's how I
finally
drive
get up
all
there, and I'm like lifting tire, and I'm like half on my side, and like straighten out. I'm like lying there, like it's like, could you tell me, passenger or driver, what the frick is straight at this point? Like I'm like upside down and sideways, and even when I'm driving straight, my thing isn't straight. I mean,
I'm like, just go.
to me.
I love watching your reels. Like from the start of your Instagram to now, it's like night and day difference. It's phenomenal. I love watching it. Like you got one on me. You motivate me. You got to be nuts. What was that like?
Oh, dude, yeah, that I just did it that second time last week.
Last week, yeah.
Last week I did it that second time. Like that. The first time, I don't even know why I started to do it. I've never had any interest in doing that obstacle ever before. We were out there with my friend Aaron, and he's like, "You should do it."
Just put tires on it, he says.
So I got pretty new tires. So I go and I'm like warmed up my tires, and my Jeep starts climbing up the hill, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm going up now." So I keep driving, and I'm a manual, and I tend to stall. So I went up in second gear and I start on the flat part of it to pick up enough speed because I know I don't have a lot of power in my engine. I'm a little underpowered, I feel. And I just gunned it up the hill the first time and prayed a lot. And I made it no problem. So last week when we went with friends,
Here we go.
no, we don't need to talk about it. My friend.
Oh, I
That
watched
night,
Right.
I watched yours too. I watched yours
This is
too.
not that kind of podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
but he wanted to try it too, but I hit it even harder.
I just needed more
I hit
momentum.
it last week than I did the first time because I remember the first time that it's not easy. It's hard to keep your momentum at the top, basically.
It was
But then
awesome. It was
I saw the
awesome.
video
Both
from
both the attempts.
and I didn't look as in control as I felt when I watched the video back the second time. I went faster than I had the first time, and I haven't seen it from the front. I'd only seen the back view before, and it looked perfectly stable from the back. And it feels stable in my Jeep when I'm driving it. But I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like lifting this tire, and I'm like flying up this thing, and I'm like, holy God, like is that what I'm really doing?
I said yes. Didn't you know that? Oh, good. Fine. You're fine.
Like,
What are you
I'm like,
doing?
good. I'm all done with that one. But, it's once you've done it once, it's not too bad. But really, the key is just momentum.
Yeah.
So that feeling that you just said, like, inside you didn't feel it, but outside everybody saw it. That's what worries me about my ORIs because
Mhm.
I've lifted tire a couple times and I had no clue that I did. So that scares me trying to go up an obstacle like that because I have no idea. I'll just be like on my way back to rolling down the hill and I wouldn't even know it until I'm at the bottom.
Oh,
That's why I didn't do it.
yeah.
I was with
We were with that first time.
I was so close to doing it. And I was just, Julie was behind me and she saw it and she was like, that was the craziest thing I've seen all day.
That was pretty rad. I was taping that from underneath of you, and I was like, "This is freaking awesome!"
This is awesome. I hope she doesn't roll.
I'm like, what is she doing? What is happening? And she's like, this? I'm like, send it. What? Send it. All of that, first of all. I'm like, I don't think I want to do this. And I have a
Awesome.
she just did. I'm like, and the guy's like, tell me.
Yes, you do.
Like, no, I went a slightly different time.
No, that was as nasty. It felt bad to me. Like, when I saw the videos later and then Julie's reaction, because we've been really together.
Yeah.
Usually freak each other out that much, but that was kind of a weird thing. I was like, I put my tire. I'm not going to do that. It's like, that would freak me out.
Well, I did.
I have not even put my tires on an obstacle yet. I know we did that trail the very first day of Trail Hero this past year, and if you remember, it was raining, and we went out early. We were out with Trail Coins, and we were out with Oscar, Dom,
We were actually thinking about doing the same day.
and I tell you what, everybody that touched, even put tires on that thing, all they did was spin. Like a couple of guys made it halfway up, started spinning, moving sideways, rolled back down violently.
Been told the rule is if it's not at least 70 degrees, don't put your
But now we did see a few like CJ,
I don't remember.
Favela.
Favela.
He's from California, and I don't know. He's kind of crazy. No, he is. He's crazy. Like he sent it and he made it. And after he came back to the top of the obstacle, standing, he was screaming. And I think I asked him, I was like, "How do you feel?" And he's like, "My legs won't stop shaking." And I was like, "I don't either." I wasn't even in it.
Stories high. Like, I don't even really watch videos of other people doing that obstacle before I did it. Like, I nothing did. I like that Swiss cheese hill. I like the bypass or the other option. I like that technical line.
The bypass isn't even easy.
Yeah.
It's harder technically than actually technically easier. Throttle control on that bypass, and people roll there more than anywhere else.
Well, I'm glad you told me that now. I mean, remember, like Lily was with me that day, right?
I was recording.
Yeah, and oh, that's right. You didn't. Sorry. Sometimes I drink too much and I forget. You didn't even have your gladiator there.
No.
So yeah, she was definitely with me. And then we were like done watching people, and I'm like, all right, let's move around. We were in that corner. We were by ourselves, and I was like, I didn't remember that obstacle. I was like, son of a bitch, this looks harder than the freaking regular obstacle.
I've seen all kinds of stuff happen. I saw a white JK that just got a roll cage roll all the way back on um, on that front A pillar, like right by the driver's seat, smack, like right on there. He just had his cage the week before, and he survived. The way they rolled it over, and he drove it.
See, some of these discussions right here, they kill me. Like, not knowing these things, I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna send it on.
Ignorance is bliss.
Now that I know these things, I'm gonna be on that obstacle next year, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
remember them telling me about people rolling? I want to do
Just
this.
control your throttle. Control your throttle.
I saw a C-clip. Axle. It was a YJ, I think it was, and it rolled up, and the C-clip broke on it, and it started coming down, and the axle was walking out, and it was heading down towards the cliff, like the 400-foot cliff at the edge.
Ooh.
I watched that happen. I was like, that's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and Julie, I saw you on, I don't even know if there's a name to that one. The one where you're really, it feels like you're just going to kind of lay over on your side, on your driver's side. Yeah, that's
That was fun. I have never done that one before either. I mean, actually, that's the one that I winched somebody out of. So I backed down into that obstacle once before to winch somebody out of it. I'm amazed that I'd never actually seen it from that side before. So I'm like, yeah, we'll try it.
I have a funny story about that obstacle, actually. Same day. And it was mine and Lily's first trail at Trail Hero. So I always like to get somewhere and I like to get the nerves out. Well, we never got a chance to get the nerves out. It was like get there early in the morning, and then like a few hours later, we're on the trail, and I'm like, all right, well, let's go. But we were with that whole group of people, and a YJ went up it, and he's a really good wheeler. And next thing you know, he's rolling backwards down it, and then everybody's talking about it, and they're like, oh, somebody else had rolled down it earlier. And then Oscar drives by me, and he's sitting there, and I was like, man, what is this one? I don't remember this. And he goes, oh, you haven't done this one yet? And before I could answer, he goes, I'll spot you. And he just kept driving, and I was like,
dude, he is one of the best spotters ever. I love
hands down, he is. But still, at that point in time, when I just watched that dude roll, and he's like, I'll spot you, and he left, I was like, I didn't even want to do it, but I guess I'm doing it now. And I did it, but I tell you what, after watching somebody roll right in front of you, and you start climbing that first part, and you feel the rear end of the Jeep start walking over to that hole, yeah, I was like, this is not going to work out. And then it grabbed and went, but yeah, it was not comfortable. So when I seen you do it, I was like, hell yeah, that is awesome. It's a fun line.
Yeah, the maze has got so many fun obstacles. It's just jam-packed with like fun places to go play. That's probably my favorite trail.
Yeah, if you want to see your Jeep flex, that's definitely the obstacle to run through.
Or maze in general. The whole trail is like a twisty, turny.
There's so many fun things to do.
If you've got an Atlas in your Jeep, there's one section where you can do a front dig. You come down super steep, and then you got to turn left. You know what I'm talking about? That is a very fun area. So
I want to do that, and I call it my white trash transfer case. I treat it like it's an Atlas, but it's a sport transfer. Everybody always asks me that. They're like,
I don't have one either.
You got? And I'm like, it's a sport. It's called 2-footing.
Yep.
Oh, I'm still interested to see if my transfer case made it to this whole scenario. Mm-hmm.
You guys have oil. He's like, you guys have Atlases?
Yeah.
I'm like, no. He's like, you got these amazing jokes. You don't have an Atlas.
Who was that guy? That was the Maxis guy, right? Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I yelled at him. I'm like, yeah, Chris does, right? So Sergeant JKU is coming down, and he got the dig, and that was a dig. So,
That was a great guy.
Halfway up the hill.
Meanwhile,
1 hour later.
one.
Mhm.
That's it.
I was- What? What are you doing?
His
You know that? I
his
did.
phone is running
That
out
was
of battery, so he's put an extension on.
Yeah, I didn't plan ahead.
You didn't prepare for your
We'll just
podcast.
switch over to the laptop.
No, get out of the fire. You guys need a break?
That's awesome that you guys are together there. Like, that's so cool.
Very cold. Have you heard the new Type 2 phone?
no. What is that? Tell me.
So it's like those are all.
Because in the moment it's yeah.
Like
Okay, yeah.
supply was hung up on 777s.
Mhm.
It was Type 2.
Yeah.
Well,
Was it actually fun though?
Was it actually?
I'm not
funny?
sure that was fun.
Shit.
We'll get another extension cord. Yeah, you guys have seen.
You guys want to take a break?
When in Rome.
Yes. Oh, hey, Julie, have you gone wheeling yet with Ruby?
Mara?
Yeah.
She's been down. Her Jeep's been down for a while. She
They
keeps
got
saying
a
she's going to take
Toyota.
her Toyota. She keeps saying she's going to take Joe's Toyota out with me, but we haven't gotten a chance. And she only lives like a mile from me. So we've seen her a bunch of times. We just haven't gotten to go wheeling yet. So
They are awesome.
I love them. Yeah, they're awesome.
My best wheeling trip ever in Sand Hollow was with her and Joe.
Oh, really?
So unexpected, and it was like, we're like, okay, hey, we're going to a concert. I show up to concert. I literally, my bare feet hit the sand because I lost my shoes. Hit the sand, and then I saw Ruby talking to somebody, and she said, Jason. I was like, what? And she goes, you want to do some night wheeling? Okay, screw the concert. Let's go. And next thing you know, yep,
Night
we're
wheeling.
on 777s. And then I was like, I don't know that. And her and Joe go, this is a bonus line at 777s. And I'm like, what is the bonus line? What's the name? And she goes, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what anything's called either.
Yeah, there was like buggies and everything else, rear steer. And I was like, I think I'm in the wrong place.
Are you sure this is the trail?
But it was fun. It was a blast.
Dude, we still haven't gotten out. She was talking about going out wheeling this week, but she's a sweetheart. But her Jeep's down, so she was just going to do the Toyota. So I'm like, I'm good.
And
Whatever.
speaking of the Toyota, I want to tell you this before we get back on. I saw a 22 LR or whatever that is,
RE.
Toyota. Yeah,
22 RE.
yeah, 22 RE. I saw one of those. A guy pulls up with his Toyota, and he had no brakes. And he pulls up, and he drove. You got to be nuts with that thing. And
He
it
was
was
committed.
going. It was. He was committed. And it was
Definitely
going.
committed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Tiny
And he
engine.
went all the way up. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, 22 REs don't need brakes. They don't go that fast. So you can get out and stop.
Fred Flintstone it, you know?
But a 22 RE, they never die. They never.
Yeah.
It's like you can run that engine with no motor oil for like a year, and it's still going to keep going.
Something our daughter should have.
So, explain your explanation of Toyotas. It's probably my favorite reel I've seen all week. And what is the reaction from this reel?
Oh shit! Here we
Hold
go.
on. Okay, so
Hate
before
mail.
we actually have a lot of Toyota friends,
Toyota.
which we love.
Yeah, up there.
We off road with. And then my opinion, and maybe not all Toyotas or Jeep are the same, because the way of
They're not.
Even
One's
though-
a Toyota and one's a Jeep.
so what you see on Instagram from Jason is like that's not how he wheels in real life, and you guys can people that wheels with him know that there's some times where he had to send it or act a little crazy, but the way of thinking that he has is like trying to off-road your rig where you're not gonna damage it, right?
I don't want to break that shit. That's
Yeah, you were really careful when we were wheeling
Yeah.
together, and I will
So
admit I
you-
was a little surprised.
Yeah. So you want to try to
Yeah, as we were getting out earlier, I'm like, He's like super cautious out there. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yes. So that's, and when I first met him, he had a couple friends too. They were under the same mindset of riding that way, like nice and slow.
They're still my friends.
Yes. But I was really surprised because, like, the first time I saw them wheeling, their jeeps were really nice. They were really nice. They had no scratch, but they were taking like crazy obstacles. They were going over crazy stuff, big rocks and stuff. And I was like, how do you keep them that nice? So that's something that really surprised me, and that's kind of like the mindset of wheeling that he has, and I'm trying to get into it, right? So we had gone into a couple runs with our Toyota friends, and my reel, it was really funny because actually the night that I came up with it, we were in LB and we were off-roading with two Toyota guys that we didn't really know. We were off-roading with them and they were going fast.
I fucking ran out of gas. That's right.
Hold on. They were going fast, and I remember Jason saying, I don't like this type of wheeling. Like, I don't want to just go. And it was night run too. I don't want to just go running and hit something and break something. And I was just like, and I made the joke, oh, don't worry about it. They're going to get stuck somewhere or break something, and we're going to catch up. We did. That happened. They got stuck between a rock and a tree. And then we catch up to them. And it was really funny.
I will say, though, like, the person who got stuck between a rock and a tree, like, their way of recovery is different than ours. Like, I thought they were going to rip the axle off the way that they were trying to pull it between. I was like, there's not enough room for the whole axle to come through there. Somehow it did. And they kept going. But then the other one literally ran out of gas.
The other thing, too, and I wanted to make a reel about that, too. We were like half the trail.
She thought better of it and didn't do it herself again.
Yeah, and
she still might. It's not too late.
Oh, I love the response after, though. Like, the response after, I think I watched it 4 times because I was like, you were like digging. It was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. So they run out of gas, and then Jason was like, oh, we're gonna gas, so we're gonna have to go back and get gas and then come back. And it was like 2 in the morning. We were like late running. No. And then I told him, oh, don't worry about it. Toyotas never accept help from Jeeps. So it's like, and that happened too. It's like they were going, we got out of the trail. It's like, oh, don't worry, we got it. We're just gonna go get it. I didn't want to help because they're Toyotas. And it's like, that's the nice thing about wheeling with Toyotas. If they break, they don't need our help. And I know there's a lot of people that are gonna be mad at us. I'm not saying that you break because your Toyota doesn't last. It's just about the type of wheeling you guys do. And I'm not talking about the fucking little Tacomas that go over landing. I know you guys don't break. Again, I'm sorry.
I will make sure to play the voicemails first for Lily.
Toyota wheelers. That's what I'm talking about. The ones they send it and
Overlander guys.
They get scratches or roll over. That's the type of Toyotas I'm talking about.
Oh my God. Cracking me up.
Joe. His Toyota is that's an amazing shape.
It is. Real quick, one more time, if you want to leave a message about how you feel about Lily and Toyotas, the phone number is 719-408-0132. Yep.
So Send It Joe says that it has everything but speed.
We got another good story, and I'll leave the Toyota guys alone. But this one was classic. Like and like Lily said, we have so many friends. Like I try to not say the Jeep community anymore. For me,
fair enough.
I try to say community because I honestly don't give a shit. Wait, unless it's a Rivian. Like I don't.
He draws the line there.
You know what? It's funny. He says that now. He's going to be the first one to have one off our road eventually.
Like a souped up Rivian.
Not true. I've already seen it. That's why I'm like, what is that going out here? But then as soon as it came around the corner, then the other thing came around the corner, and I was like, okay, never mind. It's the only person he could find to go wheeling with him, and that was a new
Would you like to insert our
the phone number again, please, for those who wanted to
the
call?
phone number again for those of you listening is 71.
And his name is Jason.
I have a friend that was standing there with me, and we were like sitting there, and I think Lily was like, "Hey, let's make a funny reel." And I happened to turn around and look, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" It's got like this headlight strip bar thingy. And it was like, somebody goes, "Oh, it's one of those Rivian trucks." And I was like, next thing you know, we're going to see a fucking Bronco. And literally around the corner came a Bronco. And I was like, holy shit.
So
Yeah.
was that 2 years ago at Trail Hero? Because that's where I saw.
And we know the guy who owns that one.
That was actually up here, which blew
Oh.
my mind.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just don't Rivian. And now I lost where I was at. What was I talking about?
We're talking about Toyotas.
Oh yeah. So we went to
We call it the off-road community. So.
we went to another off-road community party for Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cute.
For everybody out there that wants to know what Friendsgiving is, that's the millennial version of Thanksgiving.
It's a true story.
When it's not just family, though.
Yes.
Yep.
But I love them. So we were playing beer pong and all this other stuff there, which that's my line of work right there. We were listening to music.
Now.
We were listening to music, and it was phenomenal. Like, I looked out, and I'm like, never would you ever see this at any party you'd ever been at, unless it's Toyota drivers. And what we saw was a Toyota that the front axle, I mean, we were working on it later in the night because the tire was shaking up and down, and it was because the wheel stud, like where it mounts to the studs, the wheel, all the holes were wallowed out. There's nothing wrong with the studs, but the tire would just move up and down on the studs. So we're trying to fix it, but that wasn't even the purpose the Toyota was there. The Toyota was there by the garage so that we could listen to music. They were playing their music out of the Toyota.
Out of the stereo.
It was a boombox.
Scene was then some jumper cables that went from the Toyota to a Super Duty pickup truck battery so that they didn't run the battery dead in the Toyota. That's what we were. That's how we were listening to music all night. And I was like, only would you ever see that at a Toyota, and it was the best party I think I've been at this year.
Again, that wasn't a Tacoma or a newer version of Toyota. That was an older Toyota.
The qualification.
Again, the phone number is 719-408-0132.
I think those calls are going to start coming in.
Oh, yeah.
And they might come in and they might be bashing on us, but they're going to miss our point. We love all those guys. They're the best friends I've got. Like, I love driving circles around them when they're upside down. And I'm like, I'm too lazy to get out of my Jeep. And I'm just driving around going, hey, you want some help? And they're just happy as can be. And they're like, nope, got it.
They don't accept your help, right?
So, also, on a funny note, the other Toyota guy that was on that party, he comes and tells Jason, "Oh, what did he say? What is the word? I overwhelmed you? Like,
Yeah, I outwheel you.
outwheeled you." And then Jason made the comment, "Yeah, when you have your tires on the floor, on the dirt."
Yeah, he
That's
kept
right.
going it all night long. I'll outwheel you. And that was my comment back. Yeah, when your tires are on the ground, sure you will. Yeah.
Well, I liked on your reel, you said something about like none of my Toyota friends are offended because they didn't even see your reel because they're fixing their Jeeps after they rolled over.
They're too busy fixing their
I
Toyotas.
had a couple comments that were laughing about it, and they're like, "Yo, yeah, she's right." Like, it was like 3 days later after I posted. She's right. I'm out here posting my Jeep, and I go click on the comment to see their page, and it was a Toyota, and I was just laughing.
We have so many. So, disclaimer out there. I know, like, if people get really butthurt about this, like, go look through the comments because you'll see Toyota drivers and they're hardcore ones that are like, "Hey, Jason, bring Lily's ass down to Oregon. Let's show her." And I'm like, "Okay. I'll bring her down.
Okay.
Let's do this."
I don't think they know what they're asking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't hate Toyota owners. I have a Toyota owner friend.
You guys were Toyota.
Oh,
owners, weren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
They're reformed now,
Yeah.
but yeah.
That took
They're
and tried to kill
reformed
me.
now.
And I
Mhm.
didn't even have it modified. It was just driving on the street. And like you guys are saying, your stuff don't break. My Tacoma, like the computer died on the highway. And like I had nothing.
Wow.
I had to pull
That's
over
crazy.
with no steering and get off the road and get the car to restart.
No way. Wow.
Really?
So like, yeah, that was
And that was a 2000.
a 2018.
Like, I've
That
had
was
the
the gateway,
computer
right?
fail
To
in my
getting the
Jeep,
Jeep?
but I can
That's
still
why I'm
drive
a
it.
Gladiator now.
Yeah, you couldn't
Ugh.
drive it.
See, if the Toyota had been great, he'd never become a Jeeper.
The best time to have Toyota friends are like I haven't even been there yet, but I can just imagine it. Like King of Hammers. Because you can leave your Jeep down by your camper, right? And you just ride with them and you go to the back door and you ain't got to worry about shit with your rig because you know they're going to put on a show and you ain't going to damage yours.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a hell of a party and they don't care.
Yep.
Exactly.
And the next morning, I'll be right there to help them fix it. I don't give a shit, but they like to have fun, and I like to go wheel with people who like to have fun. So
That's cool.
Yep.
You used to have the socials and meetups and whatnot, and you used to have a whole.
We did an all 4-wheel drive one. There were a lot of Toyotas.
Yeah.
And, you know, all off-road or we had Nissans. We had all kinds of stuff out there.
There was a couple Mercedes Benz, you know, those giant Sprinter like conversion things that even showed up. It was crazy.
How does that not tip over?
I don't know.
I don't understand that one at all. Yeah.
What was that?
We saw that one in
Engineer Pass.
Engineer Pass in Colorado.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that poor guy. I think he had just gotten it.
And the things like this, right?
He was terrified going around this corner. It's like a sheer drop off on the right.
I mean, it's like 300 feet straight down.
And we were still pretty new ourselves. It was like, I think the first time we'd been out there, and I'm like, what the heck is that thing doing out here?
So the guy told me.
A family too. It was so sad.
I asked him about that. I said, so aren't you like top heavy? And he says, no. He says most of the weight, like a huge amount of it is down at the frame area.
That's like where the unsprung rate or unsprung weight.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean,
he got through.
He got through. I mean, it was like this really weird.
Sketchy.
But I will purposely take an exit like out of my way off from the highway when one of those are in front of me. Like if I see an exit that says 25 miles an hour, it's like one of them circle ones, and I see one of those Sprinter vans, I will take the exit because I just want to see. Because I feel like one of these days I'm gonna take an exit. One of them those Sprinter vans are gonna roll over on that exit.
Swap over.
But they never do.
They look like they're so top heavy.
Yeah, they do.
Well, they put so much stuff up at the top too. Like a lot of them will put stuff on the roof on top of it. I'm like, it's all
I get it.
heavy. I'm like, what
I
are you
don't
doing
think
there?
any of those groups has ever taken a lesson on physics.
So we were on Tokerville Falls, and the guy with the Sprinter van wasn't even very built. It was just like we just have off-road tires, and that's basically it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to come to it, and he's like, "Hey, are there like how high are the ledges?"
That was
was that the day that we were there with you on that? We did Rattlesnake or something like that. That was Rattlesnake. Yeah, I remember that dude. Okay.
I'm like, I feel like I've had this conversation.
You two got to talk at your cameras. We know you're in the same room, but
sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we were there too that day that they did it.
I remember that.
Yeah, that guy. And I don't know what ever happened to him. We can stick around.
Yeah, right. He said, "Do you think I'll make it?" I'm like, "You can try."
If someone's in trouble, we help.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's not in trouble, we don't stick around and let it become our problem.
Yep.
Yeah, there's that too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't follow him around to find out what happens. We didn't care.
There were other people at that point.
Julie,
Tokerville Falls has like people like
always somebody there.
Julie, next year at Trail Hero, you guys are gonna laugh at me, but I'm gonna go find somebody between now and next year's Trail Hero, and I'm gonna invite them to come with us. I want to bring a Subaru driver, just so I can pick on them.
That'd be fun.
We've wheeled with a Subaru before.
Oh yeah, do you remember that one?
Back way to Crown
King.
Oh my gosh, they winched that poor guy over so many rocks.
I was gonna say, how did that go? It was a big day of winching.
So that Scooby-Doo though, that thing had a full belly skid, front to back.
Oh yeah.
And it had tow hooks on all four corners,
across
and they just drug that stupid thing.
It was the back way to Crown King in Arizona. I remember that day.
That was crazy.
So funny.
That's a perfect way to explain it too. Stupid thing. That's why I want to bring it, because I don't want to use my winch. I want to use my kinetic rope, and I want to drag them through.
Oh, you want to fling it.
One of my first encounters in Colorado.
This is
Go ahead.
all super.
With your people.
With your people.
Look, and I'm not saying this is emblematic of Subaru owners, but the first time I encountered a Subaru on the trail, it was a person who needed assistance. They had been stuck for 24 hours. We get out there to their 2-inch lifted Subaru and are halfway through the recovery when he says, "Hang on a second, I got to go take care of the engine." And we're all like, what is he talking about? When he reaches into the inside of the cab, grabs a tube and blows into it to keep the engine running. For those of you not familiar, that is a
carburetor.
It's a carburetor. Yes, exactly. It's an anti-drunken device.
I thought it was a DUI.
It is a DUI device.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it was. That was my first encounter with a Subaru in any real capacity off road, and wasn't good.
Not impressed.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they make good rally cars, right?
They're reliable.
That way, if I run across Subaru needs help, I just throw him a fucking freeze-dried meal and be like, "There you go."
And there's this guy.
They're good in the snow.
It's decent in the snow.
Bad. It's usually like on a speed bump in Walmart parking lot, so it's not that bad.
I take those slow.
Yep.
Yeah, depending on
Julie,
your
this is
situation.
part of the show where I start to get a little bit of buzz, and then I get.
You start to go.
You're not the only one. I've been pounding these beers today, so.
So,
I need to refill my wine glass.
to the Subaru drivers out there, I just want to say, like, hey, I was in the wrong path before too. My first car that I bought was a Nissan Juke, and I tried taking it off-roading in the mountains of Utah in the snow.
That's
With
okay.
that
Matt
Nissan
took his.
Juke.
Yeah.
And after
Which
that, I
one?
got an
Kia
Xterra.
Sorento.
Oh yeah, I had a Kia Sorento. I did.
We off-roaded his Kia
So-
Sorento.
Oh yeah.
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 One more time. That phone number is
So-
719.
You're gonna
And
all
I
kinds of people reaching out.
finally got a Jeep, and I was like, hey, this makes sense now. I can't take it off.
Wait, this is a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knew
It's
our
the difference
episode
when you
with
start
Julie
wheeling
was
something with a little bit more capability.
I think I just figured out why I'm a Toyota. I like Toyota people because I did have a Toyota. It was like my first car when I was in the military.
There you go.
Yeah, this is a good story. I shared it with my friend, and I think we bought it for like $200. It was a little Toyota Tercel, and that car would just never die. We gave it away like 5 times after people would throw up in the back seat. We're like, "Fuck that, clean it out. Just keep it here. If somebody takes it, great. We don't have to clean it." But it always showed up back in our house, and I'm like,
Coming back like a dog.
but we don't like the litter. I mean, it's like I still carry this today, like tread lightly, right? So,
Right.
has anybody ever had a Big Mac from McDonald's? They put that fucking lettuce on there, and it just goes everywhere. It never stays in the actual sandwich. So we didn't want to litter. We just threw it in the back seat, and we actually got pulled over. We got pulled over on base at a random fucking check, and they had the drug dogs out. And I literally told the cop, I said I wouldn't put that dog back there. They didn't listen. They opened the door, they put the dog back there, and the first thing it did was French fries and lettuce. And I was like, I told you, don't do it. But
Dog's back there eating.
that little Toyota Tercel sticks with me to this day, and sometimes I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't own a Jeep. I should probably be one of those Toyota drivers.
What?
And then I remember, no, Jeeps are way. Okay, you should probably give them that phone number now.
Yeah. For Jason now, that's number 719-408-0132. I'm gonna next time we come out, I'm gonna have that on the media board so I could just hit the button and it plays. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In case you want to leave a message for Jason.
I have one for each person. Mm-hmm.
Or Lily.
Yeah.
Lily has a few.
Exactly.
Hey,
That's awesome.
again, I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying the truth.
Sure. So if you want to leave us a message about how Lily hates Toyotas and Subarus, the phone number is 719-408-0132.
She hates Toyotas, and I hate Subarus.
I don't hate them.
I
don't
know.
hate
I'm
it.
just
You're just really appreciative of what you have.
Yeah. It's true.
I
It
do
helps me
all-
appreciate my Jeep more.
It breaks down all the time. But
yeah.
anybody else
All
on a
right.
Ram?
What'd you
A
say?
Ram?
We had
I
one.
had one. I
Nice.
bought I had a 2007 that was fully deleted. It was an awesome, super built out, had a $10,000 transmission. And that thing, everything else was falling apart on it. I couldn't keep it
You
together.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like try to fucking roll my window up, and the whole fucking console comes
Dude,
out.
and it's expensive. Every little part of
Everything
that
to fix it is expensive.
was like ridiculously expensive. Yeah. No, I was done with it.
That's why I bought one of the little code readers things, because I never.
We have one
I
too.
get a code and I just clear it. And I
Clear the code.
Like that?
No,
I do that with my Jeep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get over your Jeep too?
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Until you get to my spot where yesterday I
You
had
threw
25
20
codes.
yesterday.
It's like ridiculous.
Well, that's a problem when you're trying to figure out what's actually going on. Yeah.
anyway, my Jeep's missing a bunch of things. Like,
Yeah. Sway bar disconnects, all that kind of
Right.
stuff. Yeah, it's true.
all of those things. So
You have to get a
this is really
taser.
good to look at.
Yeah, that's true.
He finally took his taser. Yeah.
I have no legs. I don't have.
I don't have lockers. I don't have all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have
Actually, there was a way that you could defeat
more in the
all of
truck
that.
from the Jeep. I know what's wrong with it though, so I'm gonna keep sending it even with the Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how much gas I got.
That's how my situation is too.
As long
I've
as
got a
I
replacement tank, so I don't really know exactly how much
He
I.
tries to keep it full, basically.
You're gonna end up like other drivers.
Are you like Matt off-road recovery? You don't have a fuel gauge anymore, or is it just?
No, I have a fuel gauge, but
Well,
the way that it works is it's a factory unit that you put down into the tank, and the tank is great, but
It's
you
a
put
26-gallon tank.
it's 26 gallons, so it's
You gotta
four
extend
gallons
it.
different.
Also, doesn't go down far enough.
So, well, it goes down the same distance, but you have a wider amount, right? So
It's not the same size.
there's a float in there that floats up and down, and what you're supposed to do is what they tell you to do is to kind of bend the float and whatnot. But I think that the smarter way is for taser, because I called them up and I said, hey, can you change
Adjust this to
because if you
26
change it to a different size, then ultimately your float will be right.
Well, you could
Right.
probably just do a simple math equation if you calculate it if you wanted to. But
They would have to
No, I
really
don't want to do
have
math
that
either.
down perfect because that's a lot of calculations to make sure that the float is the right length for that. And I agree with you 100%. Like, so you go aftermarket fuel cell, or you just throw the one in the bed like Indominus has there.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter, but yeah. So I'll use Motobilts for example. I'm not sure which one you have. Which one do you have? Motobilt?
I have one from Don from RPM.
Okay.
RPM steering.
Yeah.
So, yeah, same thing with Motobilt, right? You use the stock fuel pump. It's got the float attached to it. You buy their kit. They give you these extension rods, and then there's these little C-clips they attach in there, and yeah, everything works great to an extent. Everything works so you can drive, but your fuel gauge will never be correct.
Yeah, right.
So when I redid my rear end of my Jeep, I double triangulated it from Motobilt and put the new tank in there. And yeah, it's 22 gallons. So it's the same as the stock tank. Same as the stock tank.
So it should be.
Yeah.
But what I did, which I think was smart, and I didn't do it on purpose. I did it by mistake. And I was like, oh, shit, well, thank God I did that. But if I have a quarter tank of gas showing on my fuel gauge, well, before it actually worked, that was 5 gallons because I took a 5-gallon jug and I put perfectly 5 gallons of fuel in it, and then I poured it in the tank and I checked to see what my gas tank read, and it was 1/4. So I always knew that if I hit 1/4 tank, I had 5 gallons left.
Yep.
But the problem is, like, when you fill it up, that thing will stay on full forever.
Yes.
But once it comes off full, that thing will just do this.
Drops like a rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say that Don's the one from RPM doesn't have any extensions. It's a drop in for the exact, like you just take it and just drop it right in and turn it, right? So that's good. But
that's not good.
What's that?
That's not good unless you have some type of hose that comes off it that gets to the bottom of the tank.
So you have that little mat thing that comes off and sucks it right up in, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I do, but I mean, I think there's I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not a mechanic, but
yeah, I'm not either. I don't even play one on TV.
Fuel priming.
I'm not Carfax. I don't know these things.
I would let's. You know what? Hey JD, let's see if we can get Don on it here. Maybe he can sit there and walk through, tell us some technical data. But I don't know. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I feel like unless it's extended all the way to the bottom of the tank, I feel like you could potentially have some fuel priming issues. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Like I said,
I've never had any with mine, and I've had that thing running on
pretty vertical and
super vertical and super low, like
almost empty,
almost completely empty.
Like vertical,
like super,
really
like
vertical.
almost upside down vertical. Yeah. So
that was just this weekend.
I'll go back to my last one. I tried to reach out to a couple people I know that had issues with similar setups with tanks with mine. I know you guys haven't been up here, but we have this obstacle called Boat Ramp, And
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
yeah, the videos don't do it any justice. It's a pain in the ass.
It's gnarly.
If it's dry, it's super easy, but if it's any wet, it's like, yeah, it's crazy. But if you send it through that, you're going to be bumping around a lot, to the point where right now none of my stereo system works because everything that was in the back of my Jeep is now on its side. And
Wow.
when I was done with that, trust me, it was ratchet strapped down pretty freaking tight. And I don't know how it came loose, but when I
You
was
mean
done
your
with that
tank?
obstacle-
Your tank, you mean, or
Yourself?
No, just my stereo system.
Stereo.
oh,
But
okay.
when I got to the top of the obstacle, I was like, Jesus, man, look at all those Christmas tree lights. Like, my entire dash was lit up.
Oh,
And I pride myself on the fact that I've modified my Jeep so much, but at the same time, I don't have any dash lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Until,
we don't either typically.
yeah.
well, I
But
have a seatbelt light, but that's our problem.
I did find out it's all my dash lights are coming off from one thing right now, and that is my fuel tank. So basically, I must have rattled something loose to the point where my fuel sending unit is sending a code.
Oh.
Yep.
It still runs, but now my fuel gauge is always on E. So I have no clue where I'm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You don't really.
There's like 5 or 6 different sensors on that fuel system all the time that are constantly, like, if you have, you can vapor lock pretty easily if you have that thing in the wrong position. We don't have that problem anymore.
I'm
But-
sorry, who's we?
Well, I don't have that problem. but there are
Julie's like
sensors.
I might.
I don't have that
shit.
problem at all. I'm not allowed to drive that thing yet. I will soon.
Son of a
When I'm
bitch.
at work, she wants to go take it out. So
Lily, I need another Coke.
I have weekday availability. He doesn't.
But no, there's a lot of things that could potentially, but fortunately we've been able to work through all of that. Right?
It's been
It's been rock
great.
solid. So
I think
good.
I'm gonna need another fuel pump for mine.
yeah,
Wasn't Mark talking about some kind of a TJ pump or something?
yeah.
Use a TJ pump. It helps.
Was that Mark or was that Chuck?
I thought it was Mark. Maybe it was.
So-
oh yeah, no,
No, it was just the other day.
yeah, it was Mark.
So Matt, have you had any issues yet where you have filled your tank up, like really topped it off, and next thing you know, your float actually sticks fully up?
No, I haven't had that. I haven't had that.
The
Correct.
it's actually
Yep.
got a little bit more shape to it.
Yeah, yours kind of goes down, right?
Yeah. I just keep even though all the pumps in the world are like, hey, don't do this, and we're like, yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna fill this all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Well,
did.
so we
Evac.
moved
Evac.
our we got the vent that goes back to the EVAP moved up to the filler neck because we had problems where gas was getting into that vent, right? And then that was causing problems. When we moved that up, that
Ender
went away.
from Moto Built told me about that.
Yeah.
I
So you have to move that thing up, and if you do, I've
You
got
have to have it long enough.
I've got a clear filler neck that goes all the way down to my tank, and I can fill that thing up to pretty close
You can
to.
actually see it.
I can see it.
Yeah, he can see the level.
That's been okay.
That's pretty
Um,
crazy. You can see it. I can get
Yeah,
off me.
yeah. I have to turn the hose upside down.
It's really fun at the gas station when we're together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how the Bob bed on the JT is. They move the gas tank thing so it's vertical. And
Oh, you
so
have to do it upside down
So
too?
I have to fill it up upside down.
Oh, do you?
And there's actually a special
I
way
missed
that
that.
it fits every time.
Okay. I just do it like this because it pins the side because
Keep going.
that keeps it from shooting back out of me. So
He's had a little trial and error in developing this technique, let me tell you.
I have to take the fuel when I'm filling up my gas tank. I have to take the fuel from my
Yep.
and I have to twist all the way up. Otherwise, it's like snap, and I
Yeah,
get
it stops constantly.
Yep.
yeah, and that's a pain.
yeah.
That was kind of
So
fun watching you develop
yeah.
your technique.
I sit there and I kind of halfway hold it and it's filling, but if I grab it,
Can't go too hard.
I can't do that. So I take like twice as long.
It's a long time.
And it's a 26-gallon tank, so there's more to fill. So she's bored,
I'm just cleaning my windshield usually.
I'm like sitting there
Trying to buzz.
listening as I'm filling up, trying not to fucking launch fuel out the top
Yep.
of the fuel neck, and I'm listening.
And do you?
And Trail Hero is the worst because you got every freaking goddamn Hemi and LS pulling
It's
into
so
the
loud.
Maverick gas station, and you're like can you just turn your goddamn engine off? I can't hear if I'm going to overflow this. And then, I'm like, yeah.
Brings out a stethoscope.
I'm waiting for that guy who's like from EPA going, you just filled gas. There's another pump. Like, yeah.
Well, you never know.
We'll get to.
I'm gonna go close another trail. That's it.
I'm gonna go close it.
It's funny if it wasn't true.
Yeah.
Hey, JD, we're
Yes,
going to have
sir.
to like these episodes down. I go through a lot of alcohol every time we have one.
Look, I can't be responsible for your intake, but I'll take note of it.
What are you gonna take?
Fair enough. You know what? I just won't go to work tomorrow.
You don't go to.
I was about to say, that seems like a very hollow promise.
You don't
Terrible
go to.
threat.
I don't go to work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That is a nice lifestyle.
So
So
real
he
quick
gets
before.
mad at me because I say, "Oh, since you got retired, I'm gonna retire too." I'm retired too.
I don't understand how that equals out. I keep trying to tell her. I've been working 28 years.
What would it change about your situation, really, though, Jason?
Oh, no, I actually went to work before. I went.
No. What would it change about your overall household situation, though, if that actually happened?
If Lily retired too.
If Lily
if
retired,
Lily-
yeah. Would that
Absolutely.
really?
Nothing. Yeah. I mean, I still blow people's minds all the time when I get like the way I normally get, and then I'm up at like, what time do I get up?
6 o'clock in the morning.
That sounds about
Time to
right.
go. Time to go. I mean, you're burning daylight. You got to get up. Yeah. So if you ever go wheeling camping with me, you're in for a treat because we're gonna party all night long, and then I'm gonna
And
get up
still get up at 6.
3 hours later.
So I am camping
impressive.
far away from Jason, just so everybody knows.
Matt hates camping, so I don't get to go very often.
I hate camping.
Matt hates camping.
I will find you.
I find you.
I like camping, but I don't like getting up at 6 in the morning to go wheeling. It's not my favorite.
Ooh. It's usually too cold at
The
6.
Pritchett run that I did
Oh, yeah,
with
that
Mark,
was
I got up and I was there at 5 o'clock in the morning, ready to go for
To
that.
beat the crowd.
To beat the Genrite crowd, and I think it was Genrite that was
I
doing
was
it.
in that Genrite crowd, and trust me, it wasn't pleasant.
Is there a lot of people on that run?
No, they were great, but I just wanted to get in front of them because there was 30 of them, I think, and
It
then
wa-
there was
yeah.
also
It was
Yeah.
a big group.
Yeah, I was there.
Anytime there's
So
a big
funny
group
thing
like
about
that's not
Jen
fun.
Wright, the first time that I went wheeling with them, it was actually an invite for Jason because he was talking shit to them on in a party.
No, it wasn't them. It was Tony.
It was Tony. We love Tony.
I love Tony.
We love Tony.
So
I really do.
He was in Moab. He was drinking and he found them in a party. And then what happened? You tell the story better than me.
I was drinking.
Yeah.
What? Crazy talk.
So actually, Eric, our next person that's coming on the
Oh,
podcast,
yeah, we like Eric.
from Concord
2
Trails.
weeks.
Yeah, Concord
I
Trails.
was out with them, and we stopped to eat. And I looked over and I was like, holy shit, there's Tony Pellegrino. He's sitting at the table next to us. So I started talking shit to Tony about Genrite parts. I was just being a stupid ass.
That's hilarious.
Like I didn't know anything about Genrite. And I mentioned some other off-road companies, which I won't list their names on here. Yeah, they were probably off-road companies that nobody would ever know. No, trust me, not that one, because that's a good one. The one I'm talking about is shitty as hell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, they usually go
Motor
around
Build
with
is a
like
good one,
initials.
yes.
The initials are. Can you bleep? Can we bleep this out?
I can bleep in post, yes.
Okay, so their initials usually are R and C.
Or
but
K.
I told
okay.
Tony,
Yeah.
I told Tony.
Your
I was
budget
like,
parts provider.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with them. It just doesn't exist in my world, or any of our worlds for that.
I don't
But
understand.
told Tony, I was like, yeah, I'll outwheel you, and I got that lift kit. And Tony's facial expression was like,
Is this guy
and
for
his
real?
response to that was, I tell you what, if you, because I could tell he was looking at me like, oh, this drunk motherfucker will never make it. He's like, if you can make it to Pritchett Canyon at 7 in the morning, you can wheel with us in Genrite. And I was like, is that something special or what? Like,
I think for a lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people it is special for. Mm-hmm.
well, I didn't stop there. I forgot about it actually. His invite, because then we left and I ended up at another party. I think it was Milestar party, in which those dudes like to party. They had like the little slushy machines. They had margarita slushies.
That's so cool.
And I don't even know how I got back to the Airbnb. Like Lily wasn't with me.
No, I wasn't with him.
But I made it. I always make it home.
Well, he got back home with the Airbnb with everybody there saying that he had a run the next day, so he was excited about it.
And I had to go to bed. And they're like, "Who are you going with?" And I was like, "I don't know, some person named Tony."
So I woke him up in the morning, and it's like I didn't know who Tony was because I'm still, even though I've been 2 years here on Instagram, I'm still new to the off-road community. I guess I don't know.
Sure.
So I don't know. I didn't know who Jen Wright was either. So I was like, I know you really want to go. So I woke him up. He was bad. It was bad.
I wasn't that bad.
It was bad. I woke him up and I put him in the Jeep and we drive over there. We get there and then, we were off-roading.
I just want to point out I was there first.
Oh, he was the one. And when Tony sees him, he's like, "Oh, wow, you actually made it." He was surprised.
That's awesome.
And I met Tony. I was watching him wheel because his Jeep is not like the one that has a big tires on. It looks like a normal Jeep, right? It looks really clean and nice. And I walk up to him and I'm like, "Wow, you actually know how to wheel." And he looks at me and he's like, "You're surprised."
He's done it a couple times. He's been out on the trail a couple times.
I remember this one, and I looked at Lily, and Tony looks at me like puzzled, and I was like, "Lily, he's the owner of Genrite, and the whole family races Ultra 4. Yeah, he's gonna make it."
He kind of knows what he's doing. Yeah.
And then you guys know Jeff Perkins?
I love Jeff. Yep.
So that was the first time I met Jeff. And Jeff, Tony goes, at the end of that run, Tony goes, "Wow, everybody, that's awesome. This is the fastest we've ever done Pritchett Canyon." And Jeff looks at me with a disgusted look and goes, "Yeah, Jason, just imagine what it'd be like if you weren't hungover." And I was like,
Did he say that to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Jeff laughed, Jason.
Yeah, me and Jeff are like this now. I love Jeff.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, Jeff is
He's
a
a
good
good dude. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, Genrite crew is amazing. And
They are.
every
They
time
really are.
They build great
Moab,
products too.
After Moab, Genrite is always like send an invite out to me and Lily to go wheel with them, and it's been a blast every time.
That's cool.
So the thing I love about Genrite is that you go wheeling with them and they make you feel like you're part of their family.
Yeah.
Because they're all really good wheelers.
They really are.
They go up there and make things really easy, but they're watching you, making sure you don't break and that you're taking it. Like fucking Tony was spotting Jason the first time he met him, and he met him up as someone who was drunk on a bar, and he was there making sure his Jeep was alright. So like that talks really highly.
I just want to point out I was perfectly fine, and that's how I normally wheel, and I don't know why he was getting excited. But
concerned.
at the same time, I would have been fine.
Tony was cool. He
I still
actually
made some notes to myself to edit this moment. Yes.
Yeah, you're making.
please edit this moment. But
Yeah,
Tony
for
actually
everybody's
did
sake.
at EJS. He even babysat basically
No,
our
he didn't
kids.
babysit.
I mean,
They
and not
did
babysit, but
They did like an Easter egg hunt for the kids one year.
he spent like an hour with our
He was
kids.
out there with our son playing
just
with his
awesome.
styrofoam airplane.
He's such a good guy,
whoever the
you
person
know.
was.
Yes, so that's the thing that surprised me too. So a person that has that big of a company, right? He doesn't need to be out there with people that he doesn't know or with their customers, but he is, and he's taking the time to be out there and meet them and talk to them and taking them to runs. Like,
But they genuinely care about their customers. They want them to be.
He wants to be part of the off-road community. It's not just like another owner of a company that just wants to make money. He wants to go out there. He enjoys wheeling, and he wants to be of the part of the off-road community.
And they want to make sure people are safe and having a good time.
Ever listen to this? I want Tony to hear one thing. I don't want Aftershock. I want fucking Terremoto, and let's go.
Oh yeah, he just. I think that's going through some major makeover right now. I think they just rebuilt that. So
I want to go. Let's go, Tony. Let's get Terremoto out there. I want to try to follow you. I'm not going to.
We came into Arizona with Terremoto a couple years ago. I got to wheel with Terremoto a couple years ago.
We had a blast with him actually.
One of my favorite Terminator. Yeah, it's Lower Terminator.
Yeah.
Did you guys go out to Johnson Valley for Thanksgiving?
No, we didn't. We weren't able to do that. I followed along with them. They looked like they had a blast.
We're going
one of these years. We'll try.
We're going out to Hammers, I think.
Yeah, we're going out for King of Hammers, but
I want to try to.
We need to do an episode about King of Hammers. You guys want to come back and talk about it?
Sure.
If it's an indoor setting, we camped last time we went, and it was way too freaking cold.
Yeah, the first time we went, it was 20 degrees out, and we were sleeping in a yurt.
Yeah, bad planning.
Oh,
that was bad.
Like you do.
That sounds cool. That sounds like
may have something to do with why Matt hates camping. I'm not sure.
I had no top on my YJ at the time. I just got my YJ basically built. It was like the first couple runs basically at Cougar Buttes, and dude, it was so freaking cold. Oh my gosh, and the dust was like everywhere. That first one, we didn't know what to expect.
We weren't prepared. We were not prepared.
I heard
we brought our kids. Our kids were young. Yeah, like 2 and 3, and that was terrifying.
What's that?
I heard people to get sick from that dirt.
Yeah, people do. They get like, what do they call it? Hammer lung. Yeah, it gets all in their lungs and stuff, or while they're coughing.
Really?
Hammer cough.
All right,
hammer lung.
that's interesting.
Or something.
Yeah, you have to use mask.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense. I've seen some of the videos. It's all dust.
Yeah, it's terrifying because there's a lot of out of control drivers, and people get killed every year. It just in the parking lot even. And I'm like, and I'm out there with my little kids. I'm like, oh heck no! I'm like, we're never doing this again with these guys. I'm like, that's terrifying.
Is it such a good idea to go to that? Mm-hmm.
Well, not with my children. We're leaving them behind this year. So
it's like off-roading Burning Man.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. That's an excellent,
really good way to put it. Kind of.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
But I love racing, so for me, I think it's great. Like,
I'd rather watch it from my sofa in my warm home, my own snacks.
I mean, they do have like an assload of cameras to cover that event now.
Right. And when you're there in person, what do you see? Like this one little tiny part of it where they come by you?
I don't know. It's a little different when you got these guys.
Big screen there, just like you could be in your home that's, paid for and warm and.
I think this might be my year. I might go to King of Hammers this year, but I don't think I'm going to take my Jeep. I think I'm just going to go. I heard it's difficult. Like if you take your Jeep, you're really only going out at nighttime because everything's closed off. I don't know.
Yeah, so
it depends on what the trail is.
What happens is that they make a different trail every year, and the ones that the trails that they run, you can't really run them. I mean, like you say, you got to run them either at night or something like that, but you really can't be on the race course.
One or two that aren't involved in the race that you can go play on. Like we did Cougar Buttes, it wasn't part of the race that year.
Right. Last year it was a part of the race. So
I love how you said Cougar Buttes. Like growing up, I used to always think it was Cougar Butts.
Cougar Butts. Yeah, my kids like to say that one.
So it's
I'm 43. I still say it all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's like, everybody race during the day, and at nighttime, everybody's trying to go there like at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
what is going on here?
Like on a
what the heck is that?
So
hold on, sorry.
King of LB, a Washington thing, and every year it's been gaining traction, and it's like the boat ramp obstacle that maybe you might see on Instagram. There's a local Jeep. Or not Jeep. I'm sorry, local off-road, because most of them actually Toyota drivers. They take care of the trails. So you know how you usually will have like a off-road group that will kind of sponsor a park, which is phenomenal, and they take care of that park, and that's their home. That's their home territory, and they make sure that everybody takes care of it because they don't want to get shut down, which is phenomenal, and I love that about this community. But Wisco. Sorry, I had a little bit too much. Bacardi.
Chef Bacardi.
And Jaeger. But whiskey called Whiskey Throttle. No, it's not Whiskey Throttle for it. It's WTF. I don't know. But they're a phenomenal group and they take care of the trails.
Oh, it's WTF. Like what the
WTF,
fuck?
but it doesn't stand for what the fuck. It's some off-road
whiskey trails and something.
Somebody on this podcast later on when it airs, they will correct me.
You called the number,
and hey, I'm sorry, but get the fuck over it. But you guys do a
If you
phenomenal
want to tell
job.
Jason how you feel, the phone number is 718
Yeah.
719-408.
Whatever the phone number is, 8,
Go
9,
ahead,
If you want
close
to
Jason.
give
enough.
you
Mhm.
shit, just
210,
know
220.
this. I'm not talking shit about you. I'm actually trying to give you a shout out, and I love you. You did an amazing job. I just don't know your fucking name. So get over it. But anyway, they do a phenomenal job, and it is wild. I mean, you want to talk about some crazy shit. It's like, I've never been to King of Hammers, so I don't want to like downplay it. I'm sure it's fucking phenomenal, and it's probably way more epic than King of LB, but it's getting
I
there.
saw videos of King of LB. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And the pouring rain on top of it. I mean, come on. That was
It is
crazy.
not like me and Lily talked about this year. We were thinking about taking the kids there, and I was like, I don't know. It's just too dangerous because
Yeah, that's how Hammers is, I think.
after the main event, it's a free for all.
That's exactly like Hammers is.
Okay. Lily looked it up, and I apologize. Disclaimer: it's actually WTF stands for Watch This Four Wheelers.
Okay.
I mean, it's catchy. I like it. I mean, normally I'd see WTF, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, I like those guys. But
You did some
and I still
marketing. Mhm.
yeah, but it gets wild there, and people just send it. Like
Yeah.
this
Well, they
year,
have to.
this year we had a goddamn Super Duty try to fucking run that course.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
My
They
friend
made,
ran it in
like-
their Samurai.
the Samurais, they do good on that one. 'Cause they're
Yeah, they do really well.
Like samurais,
Yeah,
yeah.
Fake
Right.
News Off-Road. I was watching their video.
But
Yeah.
Awesome.
Super Duty, not so good. I think they made it 25 feet in, and they had to get pulled out. But it gets wild, and it is a lot of people, and it's a small. Overall, the whole mountain LB is kind of small compared to like, say, what
You guys
we
have a lot of like
Trail
trees and stuff
Hero,
up there, right?
those types of things. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of party going on and a lot of off-roading, a lot of night runs, and it's a blast. And each year I've been there for the past 3 years, it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's a blast.
Yeah, I've heard about
Will
it.
it ever be King of Hammers? No. But if you guys want a wild time in the Pac Northwest, yeah, you come up here. But you better bring the raincoats,
Yeah.
boots that are insulated, that are waterproof, and if
Bacardi?
you're worried about mud, yeah,
Bacardi.
don't come because you're gonna get
Maybe a
mud.
roof.
I still have
Roof would be good.
mud inside my
A
Jeep
roof.
from that trip.
Oh no.
I
The
don't like
pictures you shared from that trip was enough. I don't need any of
Yeah.
that. I got.
mud. I don't feel the need to go.
It's been
huh,
3
dude?
years since I did Drummond Island. I'm still cleaning mud from that adventure.
I hate mud.
Nah, like they don't even have to do that much. Just rolling, just driving
Just driving to the campsite.
to the campsite.
Yeah.
And if you have to have the windows down because the windows are full of mud, your mirrors are full of mud. So you have to roll the windows down. All the mud comes inside because I run big tires and my fenders are little, so all the mud comes inside.
I don't want to hear about your fenders. Like you have fenders. I will tell you.
There are
I
a
will
lot of
tell you-
people in the off-road community like myself that don't. So yes, I get it. Mhm.
Yeah. I think it's comical too. Like me and Lily, a couple of nights we went out on some rides. We're like, hey, let's just go out and wheel. So we hit some trails, and you guys are gonna love this. Like, I was like, hey, Lily, you take my Jeep, I'll take your Gladiator. So we're cruising through the trails, and we get to an intersection. There's all these Toyota drivers sitting there, and all these Toyota drivers are like, hey, dude, this is a freaking amazing Gladiator. And I'm like, thanks. It's not mine. It's hers. She's driving my rig in front. And they're like, oh, that's nice, too. And I was like, to me, I was like, fuck off. But at the same time,
And you
same
shared the
time-
story with her, huh?
right after that, they look at me and they go, if you guys are looking for like the main road, it's down to the right. And I'm like, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. But thank you, Toyota driver, for telling me that I don't belong on the trail.
Disclaimer: nobody comes to me and tells me I have a nice Gladiator, but they always come to him if he's driving it.
That's because you're not a
Really?
fool. Look at you. I mean,
Really?
shit, who wants to talk to
Well, I
you?
remember the people used to always come and
I'm a
talk to you
nice
about my Jeep,
person.
too.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
it's because you were
I
talking
remember-
so much shit about Toyotas, Lily.
Yeah, I
That could
tried
be
to
it.
tell them. Tried to
Could have
tell
gotten out.
them.
So we were in Moab one time, and these three guys pull up, and they're like talking to me about. Well, remember that the first
Is it
time?
Sedona or is it Moab?
No, it was Moab.
he gets out of the passenger side of my Jeep.
I crawled like literally out of the passenger side.
And I
I'm
just
like,
did some obstacle or whatever.
and I'm just filming her at this point, right? And they're asking me about my Jeep. And,
tell us about your Jeep and your build.
And I'm like, why are you asking me? Go ask her. It's her Jeep.
We still get that a lot.
They didn't believe me.
No, I know.
And they were like harassing. They were like, well, we're going to stick around and watch this. Right. And I'm like,
dude, he's not allowed to drive my Jeep.
I'm like, dude, she doesn't even want me driving her freaking Jeep. I'm like, whatever. You know?
It always boggles my mind when I see that happen. I'm like, can you let him drive that? I'm like, well, yeah. With the hard stuff I have him drive. I'm like, the hard stuff? I'm like, that's the last thing I would let him drive. I'm like, that's never going to happen. I'm like, he moves it from the gas pump to the parking spot at the gas station sometimes.
I don't drive her Jeep at all.
Yeah, he does drive her.
Legit. She wheels every obstacle.
Oh, man.
No.
Oh, you can see it in her posts. Yeah,
in fact, you'd
kill it.
Well, I've had people trash
talking about Julie
in the Jeep doing what she does to
wild.
it. She would freak out.
Oh no,
Julie, you're wild. You need to come to the Pac Northwest and wheel with me. Let's do it.
So Jason refused to drive my Gladiator on a, just like go get groceries and stuff.
There's a fucking.
Why?
You tell him.
Because I have a sticker in the back of my Gladiator, which I think is really funny.
I don't. Not when I'm driving it.
Which, if you see it, it's for the drivers that get too close to me. So he doesn't like it because when we were in Moab, people were honking at him and say, yes, dude, yeah. And he doesn't like it because they get his attention. But I think it works for me.
Tell
if
him what
someone,
the fuck it says.
When people is riding like my tail and they read the sticker, they move over.
Tell them what the fucking sticker says.
It says,
if you're going to ride my tail, you have to buy me dinner first?
No. What is it? It says, if you're going to ride my beep this ass, at least pull my hair.
Oh, so Jason doesn't enjoy driving that to the store? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No, I don't think he has enough hair.
I enjoy driving that because guys would come over and be like, yeah.
Checking them out.
Moab. We went to
Imagine
dinner
their surprise.
We went to dinner in Moab night and I'm driving the Gladiator and these people keep pulling up next to us and they're like honking their horn and I'm like, that's cool. I mean, they like the build. And I'm like, what the why is everybody doing this? And she starts laughing and she's like, it's a sticker. And I'm like, what
I just
sticker?
thought you were really kinky, Jason.
Yeah. Like,
I ain't doing that shit. Now Lily's like, drive my Gladiator to work. Fuck no. I ain't driving your Gladiator to work. I'm in the military. You can imagine what people are going to say to me? Hell no.
But you're not anymore. You're done with that now. So now you can drive the Jeep.
You don't have to go to work anymore.
You're right. And I still won't drive that Gladiator to the
on night runs.
Night run.
Yeah.
Hey, let's check this theory. Ready? Lily, how much gas you got in the Gladiator? None? Why?
Because you're supposed to go fill it out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did tell me I should go fill it up.
I gave him two options. It's either you go fill it out right now, or you're going to get a call tomorrow from me saying that I'm on the side of the world that I have no gas.
I would much rather get that phone call and bring her gas than somebody see me driving the fucking bumper sticker.
Oh, my God.
No.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'd rather rescue her on the side of the road than fill the tank.
Julie, come on. Would you do that? Would you?
He doesn't really have any stickers on his.
You would.
I don't
That's the
like
answer.
driving
Is
it.
then, Julie.
I
She
like
didn't
getting
say
it out
no.
of his Jeep.
So the answer is yes.
His Jeep is just.
Better yet, Matt, would you drive Julie's Jeep? If she
So
had
I've
the-
driven Julie's Jeep only a few times, and I feel really weird driving it. I got to be honest with you. And people are like,
People
"Dude, that's
always
a great
spot.
Jeep,"
People always spot my Jeep with him driving
while I'm
it.
driving it.
Yeah, they send me photos. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here. I'm like, yeah, I mean, my husband.
So I went to Ace Hardware.
Oh, you tell him the
Jeep
parking
doesn't
story.
have any pink stuff. Like my Jeep still looks like it could be like
It could be a guy's Jeep, right?
owner
Yeah.
or
No, she's
male
got a
owner.
sparkly
Wait,
roll
it
cage.
It is sparkly.
Oh, nope.
Tony
I wish I could have a
Pellegrino.
Jeep like yours,
We were
but
talking
I
about
still
Tony
want-
Pellegrino.
I don't know.
Pope,
He
you
said that.
you have a
that-
manly beard too. Would you
What's
drive
that?
Andy's fucking Jeep if it had that bumper sticker on it?
He would.
He
Would
would
you go fill the
because
gas
he,
tank up with a sticker?
I drive
by
Randy's
herself,
Rainbow
by herself,
Bright Jeep.
It says, "Hey, if you can ride my ass, pull my hair."
okay, so this is the thing. this
He didn't say
weekend,
no.
Misfit doesn't work. So if he wanted to drive anything, he had to drive Jem.
Oh, he's struggling.
I mean, he is right.
And he did. He
Yeah.
drove Jem all weekend. She was like,
No, you drove Risky Biz. You did Risky Biz yesterday, right?
Risky Biz.
JD, do you see this? They're all trying to talk around it. They don't want to say the actual.
Oh heck no. No, that's a no from me.
JD's looking the other way. He's like, I don't want to get involved in this either. Thanks, guys.
I think someone's calling him.
for
Yeah.
defending me. There's no helping this for me. I'm just going to suffer through this. I got it. Me and my Bacardi.
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 Like Chef Boyardee. That's how he
Okay,
went.
so on that note, Jason keeps asking you guys to come over and wheel with us. We are gonna be planning an event.
We are?
Yes. In the summer, and try to bring some of our friends over here to wheel here, because the summer experience here wheeling is something you need to have.
So
We've heard that from several people, actually, how nice it is up there in the summer.
she's 100% spot on. Like, okay, so history on me, right? Like, I'm from the East Coast. I was born and raised, 18 years, Pennsylvania.
No,
what part? What part of Pennsylvania?
Oh shit! This is the tricky one. Nobody ever knows this because it's such a shit fucking town. Do you know where Williamsport, Pennsylvania is?
Yes,
my gosh.
Little League, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Abington, Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
Nobody ever knows this. Okay, so I'm not from
Highway 80 or 81. I forget what that is that goes right through there.
Yeah.
I actually have to use that as a reference because when I say where I'm really from, everybody's like, where? So if you take Little League World Series and you drive 45 minutes north into the mountains,
okay,
where all the like loggers and shit, like I'm 6 feet tall and I weigh 210 pounds and I'm the smallest person from where I'm from. Yeah, I'm way up there.
How close are you to New York at that point?
It's funny, like growing up in school, like if I was going to go to school shopping, like clothes and stuff, my parents like, okay, we're going to go to New York. It's closer.
Yeah.
So we are probably where I grew up is probably about 30-minute drive to upstate New York. Like, fuck, what is the name? Elmira, Corning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cornell.
Yep. Cornell. Yeah. Where all the smart people are. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them. Some of them.
Yeah, I don't qualify for that school, but yes, up in there. So I grew up in that area. I lived 21 years in Hawaii. So a lot of people always tell me, why you got a British flag on your Jeep? It's not British, you stupid shit.
No, yeah.
It's fucking Hawaiian. It's the Hawaiian state flag. So,
and he says it probably just like that.
Yeah, I do.
Just like that.
I do. It's like
very tactful.
Come on.
You don't ask again.
I like that.
You only ask once.
In his bio I'm writing for him, it says tactful.
I lived out there, and then now I live in the Pac Northwest. So it's like I love the Pac Northwest for the fact that actually I don't like any of it other than like 3 months out of the year, and that's what Lily's talking about right now.
The
is
summer.
like 3 months out of the year. This area is the most amazing place I've ever seen in my life. Like,
really?
Oh, it's phenomenal. Like the views you get from this place, it's like a mixture of, and like I said, it's only 3 months out of the year. It's like Colorado, the state of Washington, because it is the state of Washington, Oregon. The views are just freaking amazing. The amount of green you see, the views you see are freaking amazing. Like you're in a snow wheeling, that's cool. But yet it's not.
No, it's not really.
I break everything anytime I go snow wheeling. I don't like to.
So you don't get the wet and the rain that we always get all the time.
And does it make the trails easier? Yeah, it does. But the views that you see are just epic. The experience you get is epic. It's like, I want to go to Colorado because JD, that area out there, what I've seen.
I love.
Oh, Ouray, baby.
See it?
What part of Colorado is JD in?
Ouray is beautiful, and don't get me wrong. I'm sure that I will get plenty of hate. You can direct your hate to 719-408-0132. Ouray is great. Imogene is great. Engineer Pass is great. Those are fun trails, and I've done them all. To me, those are overrun areas with people. There's a lot cooler wheeling within an hour of Denver here that is significantly better and has less traffic. So
Are you talking like a Buena Vista type of thing, or
you don't even have to go as far as Buena Vista. There's a town called Georgetown here that is about 45 minutes to an hour north of west of Denver. Easy to get to. A lot of the trails that are right there, like there's a trail called Saxon Mountain. Saxon Mountain has some of the steepest drop-offs I've ever seen, and oh my!
I'm sorry, guys. That siren. Like
That's
I wish they wouldn't play that because we don't want everybody to know that we live in the ghetto.
You know, it's all right. I'm sure they're coming to your house.
I haven't done anything bad yet.
That doesn't mean they're not coming. Saxon has like a 3,000 foot drop just straight down towards the reservoir.
You're not making it sound great right
gorgeous.
now. I don't do hikes, so
I love that though. See, there's the thing is,
like Red Cone Pass and stuff like that.
I'm with JD. I love
Red Cone's in that same general area too.
Okay, I love Holy Cross. That's one of my favorite trails anywhere.
See, I haven't done Holy Cross because I'm sure I'll break something on it.
Chinaman? Have you done Chinaman?
You've got to do Holy Cross. It's like one of the best trails.
Did you do Chinaman?
No, I haven't been up there yet.
So
you got to go to Chinaman's.
I think
I don't like Chinaman's anywhere near as much as I like Holy Cross.
No, I haven't done trails in Colorado, but I've been through it several times in my Xterra that I had before.
Xterra.
There you go.
My Nissan Xterra.
It's a ladder
and
rack,
it was beautiful.
4-wheel drive vehicle.
It was beautiful. Colorado, like Montana, Colorado, like those places are really, really, really beautiful. One of and I'm sorry, but I wish I had a Jeep back then, and that was like always my dream vehicle. So it's like now that I have it, I wish I could have the experience of going there again because it's really beautiful. Like,
it really is
pretty.
Wow. Yeah, I think most Xterra owners would probably say the same thing.
I think Xterra's actually a pretty decent little car.
Xterra's have this really cool thing, and I saw it on a video once. Like they can get all their wet shit and they put it on that grocery basket on top of it.
I had that too.
Just like all the water comes off it and then dry when you come home. I was like, that's
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you can go to the grocery store right afterwards and pick up all your groceries and put them in there.
Throw it all on top.
You do have a lot of space in the trunk, though. In the Xterra, you have a lot of space in the trunk.
One more time, that number is 719-408-0132.
I have a basket in the back of mine I use when I go to the grocery store.
Yeah, see? You got a custom cage with a grocery basket.
So the only reason why I didn't want to get a 4Runner is because it didn't have any space in the trunk. That was my option before getting a Jeep.
4Runners have room in the back.
Not that much. Not like the Xterra.
That's just because they got the 3 seats, so you can fold one down and then you got more space.
Yeah. Well, that's a
3 rows of seats in the 4Runner.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So like minivans.
When I got
young owners, I got you. I will defend you.
When I got pregnant with my 4th baby, it was either.
How many babies you have?
I have 4. Either
all
it's like
at the same time.
No. It was either I have the Jeep I want, or like I have 4 kids. Like, what should I do? So I put a
school bus.
Dirt road on one of my Wranglers that I had. I actually get the space up and then we customized it to put a through road on it. That didn't last that long.
Hey, we got a friend for this. Hey, Troy, if you're out there, Rubicon JK, we need a schoolie because Lily's 4 kids.
Are they still fit in my Gladiator? All of them. My oldest can be in the front seat.
So JD, I love the fact that we can talk about every single area of the United States. Like that's my dream. Ever since I've been in the military, is like all I wanted to do was once I got out, I wanted to explore all of the areas. And the Midwest was one of those. Like I still want to go see North Dakota, South Dakota, Colorado.
Oh,
Dude, South
Dakota.
Dakota.
I
Oh
think it
my
would
gosh.
be phenomenal if we can actually
That's where my
track
family's
down
from.
people to
Really?
do a
Oh, yeah?
I love
podcast
South Dakota.
and talk about trails and all these places and
Dude,
be
the
like,
Badlands.
these are the
Yeah,
hidden
Black
Black
Hills.
Hills. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Hills.
So, funny thing about me, Jason hasn't been in the United States as much as other people because he was 20 years in Hawaii.
Right.
That's
That's
technically
still
true.
the United
Well,
States, I think,
technically,
right?
yeah.
You mean the
Mhm.
He
mainland?
was for 20 years in Hawaii. So he
Hey,
hasn't
listen, no,
explored.
stop. You need to
He
stop.
hasn't explored the United States. I am fucking Mexican race. Like I was like imported from Mexico and moved here.
I
Important.
was imported from
I
Mexico.
was imported from Mexico and I moved here. And I've been in every single state. But
Is there a liberty tax on
it's like I only been in 2 states in Mexico though. I know the United States more than my home.
I'll be patient.
So, which ones are we talking about? Oaxaca? Are we talking about
No,
Chihuahua,
I'm from
Sonora?
Most people don't know where it is.
Okay.
We lived in Arizona for 18 years.
I used to live down there, so
Sonora.
Sonora.
But hey, I just want to
La
clear.
Ciudad de Mexico.
No, Sonora is up north.
No, I
All
want
right.
to jump on the podcast.
Yeah,
Hey, so all my Hawaiian ohana, she didn't mean anything by that.
By being in the United
I
States.
understand that Hawaii is part of the United States.
I get that. I'm just saying you haven't been.
She meant the continental United States.
You haven't been in a lot of states. That's what I was trying to say.
But
It's awesome.
JD, is that a good time? Is that a good
It is.
moment to end
Real
on?
quick, it's a great place because we've burned 2 hours on everybody now, and I love the
this is
conversation,
a
but we gotta
fucking
let
awesome
people go.
episode.
This has been fantastic.
Because like we know,
This is
You guys
awesome.
are awesome.
you know, Aqua Jeep Girl.
So I
Yeah. you guys
before
are
we
fun.
go
Getting
though,
together
because
friends.
go ahead, Lily.
No. I'm just saying, like all of us here right now, we know each other.
She's done.
Yeah.
That's okay.
We're in their
So-
house right now. We have no problem with these guys.
They
We're
switch
just
in.
like,
Yeah,
No,
exactly. All right, so real quick, I want to, because this is the last episode that I'm going to have that we have that's going to air before the holidays. If you're in Colorado, you've got a couple weeks left. If you guys aren't aware, but in Colorado, you can cut down your own tree
Hmm.
Man, I want
for
to do
20
that.
nice.
bucks.
20
Up
bucks.
to like 6 inches
Let's
thick.
practical it out.
Yeah,
What?
it's
Only
ridiculous.
Wow.
20 bucks? They
That's
haven't
cool.
commercialized it yet?
No, because you have to take your Jeep or something like that out there to go get it.
Yeah, well, in
So you-
Arizona, what do you have to pay like $75?
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
It was a big deal last year when they increased it from
That
10
was
to
a
20. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they went
Yeah.
from 10 to
Trees
20
off.
last year, and even
Wow.
I was kind of like, really? Come on. But you can buy up to 5. So you can put $100
Wow.
and get 5 trees for your whole house.
That's neat.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
5 trees for your whole
I
house.
wish you could do that.
I mean,
His
that's
daughter lives in Denver.
Two. I need one for my front
Fucking
porch.
house you in.
I don't
It
even
does-
like decorating one tree. I don't want 2 trees.
Yeah,
Well,
he doesn't really do much of the decorating.
I'm with
Right.
Matt. Like, trees you need for your house.
Yeah, what happened to the
fuck?
pumpkins?
well, here
Our
it
pumpkins are
helps
ready to be put
because
away.
it's one of the fire suppression methods. So they let people go out there and
Oh.
kind of help thin out stuff for
Oh,
20 bucks.
okay.
Deforestation.
Yep, you get a little
Yeah,
get a little bit of
fires
tree management or forest management.
outside, but if you throw them in your house, we don't care if you burn down your house with your dry ass fucking Christmas tree.
No,
Okay.
but your house the forest is not insured
your
by
problem.
your house insurance. hmm
That's your problem, not their problem.
So check
Have you ever,
check
like,
local
lit
listings, but yeah,
Tree
there's a
on
lot of
fire
places that do
before?
that.
It's not pleasant.
It's fun.
Maybe.
We had a squirrel in our Christmas tree one year. That was fun.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Real live.
All right, well,
That was
we'll
hysterical.
let's skip the hot take section because we're getting late in the day. But we'll go around the table to see if anybody's got any final thoughts. We'll start with our guest and our person that Julie kind of let hang out and twist in the wind. So Matt, you get to go first. Do you have any final thoughts for today's 2-hour
I just want to say aloha.
extravaganza?
Aloha.
Aloha, Jason.
Yeah.
Ah, there it is. Yay!
We're Maui. We're
Unity.
big Maui fans, so.
That's fantastic.
About
Awesome.
it.
Well, thank you very much for
Well,
coming on. And Julie, what do you think?
Thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun. You guys are great. And it's always
Awesome.
fun. You know, I know we're supposed to look at the camera, but our friends are sitting across the table from us.
No, that's okay.
We love Randy
But
and Pope.
please
We
explain to
love-
all the guests that I'm trying to tell this is an unintimidating adventure
Oh,
that
yeah.
they should come on
it's awesome.
and just be part of the guests and
It's
part
awesome.
of the
Oh
conversation.
yeah, they're so much fun just hanging out with you guys, and we just got to see Lily and Jason in October at Trail Hero, so that was a lot of fun. So we know them
But
in
it
person
wasn't
too.
enough. We need more.
It wasn't enough.
Dude, I'm telling you, you're retired now. Come out, man.
Dude, come
I feel
Our
thoroughly left
winters-
out.
More
Mhm.
Aqua
Come stay
Jeep
here.
Girl and Indominus JT.
Dominus JT.
There he is.
Well, who's Indominus is down a little bit right now. Needs
Look
a new
at that.
battery,
You
but
I think I remember that, did you?
That's pretty good.
I'm kind of surprised you did, though, Jason. So we'll go to you next, then, Jason, because I don't want you to be the last person. Because if you're the last person, we'll never get out of here.
What? Am I
Nothing?
talking too much?
Any final thoughts?
no, you're good.
No, I don't know if I've ever had a thought. No, you gotta wait. Katie, you gotta wait. I know how to close it out. Go ahead, Pope. I'm
All right,
kicking
we'll
over
come back
Pope.
to you then.
Pope has very few final thoughts.
It's been a long couple of days.
It's been a long couple
We've been up late a
Yeah.
lot.
I want to thank Julie and Matt for hanging out with us, spending a couple hours with us on the podcast tonight. It's really fun. Really appreciate it, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks for
Randy?
letting me sit in your house.
Thanks for coming to our house.
Thanks for coming. Always.
Randy, bringing that frozen wine with you?
No,
They got to drink
Frozen
actual wine, though.
but Julie has wine.
Yeah.
She's
Ooh.
eating is good.
So is this just an
Actually,
open
finally went to the
invitation,
state liquor
then,
store for
Julie?
the
We
first
can
time.
all come out that way?
Yeah, sure. Come
Uh,
visit.
Sounds
Please.
good. Mhm.
That'd be great.
It's. We've only been here since July, and our lives are just exponentially better here. It's just
Yeah, that's
so
usually
good.
what happens when you come out there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
She's trying really hard.
Yeah,
Oh,
put the
we're
hearts
we're
out.
lobbying them so hard.
It's only a matter of time. I'm going to
Yeah.
get like a year.
Really,
It
Well,
might-
I'll
If I
mark,
can work
I'll mark
it out,
the
I move
calendar down and
tomorrow.
we'll ask the question. Mhm.
Yeah, double check with us next Thanksgiving.
All right.
Matt, you got any liquor in your house?
Oh yeah. Well,
Matt doesn't drink.
I don't anymore.
He had choices.
I had choices.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll drink.
Wow, I think we've all been
Julie.
there. Mm-hmm.
Do you have like a preference in alcohol?
Actually, I finally went to the Utah State store. How is it in Washington State? Do you have like state liquor stores, or can you buy it at the grocery store up there?
We just go to base.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
Well, that's
Oh,
different
yeah.
for you, yeah.
no,
yeah, you
like,
get a discount.
Utah is a completely different beast. Like every
Well,
time,
Pennsylvania was that
Oh,
way too, if
yeah,
you remember.
But you remember the state store in
State store in
Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania was the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you remember in Pennsylvania, you can go into a bar and you carry out 2 6-packs of
6-packs.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yep.
yeah.
They sell beer at the grocery store.
Ask us how we
but
know.
not wine.
Yes.
I like
Michael.
wake up my friends when I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm like, hey, you're going for a ride for me.
Yeah, they do sell wine here on the like Walmart stuff, but we have Safeway. They do have liquor in there.
Hmm.
Yeah, in Arizona they had it
That's
everywhere.
a grocery store. So
But back to the question at hand. Do you have any liquor in your house right now?
I do.
Okay.
Well, I have wine.
Just wine.
Well, can you grab your favorite one? Because that's how we close out this podcast.
Oh, do you?
To close it out with this.
Because, you know,
with the-
Pope has,
I can do that.
he's got the news. I got something else.
Oh, yeah. Let me read that. You need to be reflecting. Let me read yours.
wish
So-
I just want to put that up there. CJ,
Who?
CJ,
Who?
Marshall.
JD?
Marshall,
JD.
CJ. Did you call me?
CJ.
Okay.
CJ Marshall.
All right, we're gonna fight off air, just so you know. Mhm, go ahead.
Things on in my mind.
That's not dyslexic. Like, JD would be DJ in dyslexic.
You don't need to call her out for it live on the air, but here we are.
It's
I
hilarious.
speak Spanish. No, English is not my first language.
Thank fucking God I got a brain.
Just take advantage of Jason. Right now, he's retired. He doesn't have another job right now.
I don't really want anybody to take advantage
Just
of
take
me.
advantage of him. Okay?
Okay.
I do a lot of
I'll
training.
send him. I have more
Very
stuff for him to do. The problem is he doesn't know what date is.
Yes, that is a problem.
So
That makes
you need to do
reliable
something
work
really
very
good.
difficult if you don't know what day it is.
I do.
It does. It
Yeah,
does make it
he's really
tricky.
good reading. Just take
Yeah, fair
advantage
enough.
of
Julie's back.
Okay.
Julie's back.
I'll
I'm back,
duly noted. Mhm.
What you got, Julie?
All right.
Oh,
We're
before we cheers,
What am I doing?
I
We
just
do
want to say,
cheers?
guys,
Oh, cheers.
thank you and
Toyotas and everything.
friends. So I have a bunch of Toyota followers. I love them. Okay, let's put that out there.
Unfortunately, JD will never be able to
I
tell
never said
anybody
I
that
hated
because he's
it.
got to
I just
bleep you
said,
out,
like,
right?
hey, I can't catch up with you. I will catch up later. I know that. But
It's 2023. I can
but-
get an AI to say she hates Toyotas if I want to. So.
Auto editing
hey,
software.
Guys, thank you for being here. This was a lot of fun. I
Yeah,
am
it's really
looking
fun.
forward to
You guys are
go
awesome.
see you again in Utah
Yeah.
whenever we
Yes.
can.
Let's do that.
And yes, like thank
Yep,
you for
come out. Let us know.
This is good stuff.
Hey, to end
Cheers.
out the podcast, a little cheers. Oh, JD.
Cheers.
Oh, shit. JD brought out the
What's he
high
got?
dollar
A
bottle.
little
I
whiskey?
want to clean shot glasses, man. It's a pain in the ass.
Fancy
So here
whiskey
we
bottle,
go.
huh?
Hey, this
Yeah, whiskey. Let's go with that.
Cheers.
plastic bottle.
Bacardi.
Oh,
cheers.
tequila is just not my
like
friend
it.
anymore. Yeah.
Cheers to
All
the
right.
Afro
That's sweet.
community.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Well,
Hey,
thank you
fun
all
hanging out
very
with you
much
guys.
for joining us.
Good to see you
And,
guys.
thank you
Yeah,
guys. We'll
brother.
see you next
Yeah.
time at the Trailhead.
Thank you.
Hey, guys.